What is up, everybody? This is Nick Fiore of FioriousNation, right here on YouTube, aka co-host number 1 of Forbidden Podcast here on the channel by yours truly. On my right, co-host number 2 of Forbidden Podcast, Adam Carl. What is up, Adam Carl? First of all, and I can't believe, guys, we're now in the middle of May. Now, I know we were supposed to have this yesterday, but Adam Carl was busy yesterday with some things, but rescheduled to today. That being said, we are 4 months done of 2026, man. What is going on?
That is wild. Wild. And
Yeah.
what better way to kick off the month with the first podcast of the month?
Absolutely. Of May the 1st. And I mean, summer coming up next month. I mean, it's crazy how fast this year's going. And we got a chat here, a comment here in the chat already. Ricky from the People's Wrestling channel says, "Hey, what is up, Ricky, my guy?" And also make sure you go support Ricky as well, also part of the Hardcore Sports Network. He was live earlier as well. And speaking of whom, Ricky, what did you think of my podcast? Any tips? If I could give you the best advice, Ricky, honestly, worry about you. Be yourself. Be yourself. And most of all, enjoy what you're doing. Have fun what you're doing. You do this because you love it. You don't do this for money. You do this because you genuinely love the sport of professional wrestling, and it comes from here. It comes from the heart. So if the best advice I could give you, Ricky, just genuinely be you. Genuinely be you. And don't worry about what any others think. Just be yourself. It goes a very long way, is the best advice I could give to you from me to you, Ricky. So that there. But shout out to Ricky, by the way, of the People's Wrestling channel. Shout out to him. Really good stuff. Go check him out. Now, Adam Carl, like he said, what a way to kick off the beginning of May with the first Forbidden Podcast episode of the month of May. We got quite the stuff to talk about. We got to talk about the 20 plus releases during and before and during SmackDown last week. What we thought, which releases we thought were head scratching. There were quite a few head scratching ones, which I don't like at all. The others, a lot of them, I'm not surprised and figured, but we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the releases, who got released, which ones we didn't like, which ones were head scratching and why, where we think some of these people will end up. Could we see some of them come back later on to WWE later down the line? Is getting released a bad thing or what have you? We're going to talk about that. Other stuff to talk about, Triple H signing a new deal with WWE, what our thoughts are. And speaking of releases, who's behind the releases and stuff, who made the calls, who's the one responsible for the calls, who are the ones responsible for the release calls. Is it TKO? Is it Triple H? Is it Nick Khan? Is it talent relations? Is it a combination of some? Is it Bruce Pritchard? We're going to go over all that. Also, other stuff in the news. Might as well talk about the new faces on NXT. Lizzie Rain, Will Cruz, which I've recently looked up his work. The kid's very good. Has a lot of potential. We're going to talk about that. Other news of SmackDown. Apparently, SmackDown late June, early July, like last year, how they moved back to 2 hours at SmackDown. It's the same thing this year. We're going to go over that as well, and plus so much more. So before we begin here, make sure you hit the like on the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. It helps a ton in the YouTube algorithm. So make sure you go like the video and make sure you subscribe to FioriousNation if you haven't. Hit the bell for all notifications after you do subscribe to FioriousNation. And on X, I know it's not, I don't know why it's not here. It's weird. Let me see here. Here we go. Oh no, it's not here. For some reason, Adam Carl 2005 and at FiorioNick579. That's on our on Twitter. Go follow me on Twitter at FiorioNick579. Adam Carl 2005 for some reason, I mean, I don't know how I got the football field background layout here, but just bear with us. Apologize for any inconvenience with that. For some reason, didn't go to our Forbidden Podcast outer layer for some odd reason, but that's a thing for another time. But anyways, we got some more chats here from Ricky. An action-packed month of wrestling. Yes, Backlash in Tampa, May 9th, are just coming up next weekend. Most likely for next Thursday or Friday. I may have something busy going on next Thursday, so Forbidden Podcast episode 24 next week, just like today, might be pushed to in a week from today, May 8th. But I'll let you guys know on that. What's going on with that as far as that's concerned. That episode will most likely be like a Backlash preview and predictions video. We got some announcers a match for Backlash this past Monday on Raw as well. Then he mentioned Saturday night's main event. Yep, that's in, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that like Tennessee or something? I think. But speaking of Tennessee, we might as well talk about too where WrestleMania in 2028 may be, where we think it may be, and who's in the bidding runs. But we're gonna talk about that. And then he mentions Double or Nothing in New York City, and then Clash in Italy. Yes, May 31st, Clash in Italy should be a very good crowd, and I'm looking forward to that. Double or Nothing in New York City in Queens. I might actually go to that, believe it or not. I've never been to an AEW show, but I've heard a lot about with AEW pay-per-views, especially, well, when it comes to AEW and their pay-per-views, they do it better in WWE, in my honest opinion. And in the New York crowd, they're always a very passionate, like, great crowd. They never disappoint. And then Ricky mentions, I will be attending All In London. Awesome, man. Really good for you. And I don't know about WrestleMania in 2028, Adam Carl. I don't know about you. I don't know if we see it in London or we see it in Nashville. I don't know, but we're going to talk about that right there. Then Ricky mentions, before we begin, we might as well read this real quick. Lizzie Rain making the UK proud. Absolutely, because as she'd say, heavy metal will never, ever die. I'm very impressed with her, man. She's going to be something. There's something about her, man. And I like her. She's going to be something real special, and she's a future piece of WWE for years to come. I'm telling you right now. She's so good. I watched her debut Tuesday. She impressed the hell out of me, and I'm sure she impressed you too, Adam Carl.
Yeah. Yes, he's really good.
Yep.
She's really good. She's energetic.
She's got charisma.
Gimmick. She's got a good gimmick.
Yeah. Absolutely. Charisma. She's got a promo. She's got a great look. She's good in the ring. There's just something about her. I would not be surprised if she's women's champion in NXT by the end of the year. She may be even called up by the end of next year. Who knows? And I expect that too. So we'll see. And speaking of new faces, Lizzie Rain, we mentioned. Also, Will Cruz. Might as well talk about him real quick. Will Cruz. I
thought it was Will Cross.
Oh, Will Cross or Will Cruz, whatever you want to call him. The kid's very good. The kid is very, very good. If you have not watched him, go look him up. The guy is actually very good in the ring. Like Will Cruz or Will Cross, whatever you want to call him. Like, you know what I think of when I look?
Cruz.
I think of a mixture of Bronson Reed and Gunther / Walter. And he's from the UK, and for a big man, he's a big dude. But for as big as he is, the man can he's very agile and athletic as hell. Like, this guy was on NXT Tuesday doing a picture-perfect moonsault on the NXT champion Tony D'Angelo this past Tuesday on NXT. A big man doing a moonsault, doing things big men shouldn't really be doing in wrestling. He's doing moonsaults. I've seen some of his indie work. He's did like a Spanish fly, something like that. The guy is super athletic and agile for his size. And I think there's a lot of potential in him. There really is. And he's a guy, Will Cross, to me, is the guy who could truly be that diamond in the rough for WWE. There's a lot of potential in the kid. I hope he goes far. I'm really rooting for him, dude. The guy's the future piece in that company. Mark my words. You know?
Yeah, I've
I'm
seen
not sure.
some of his work.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've seen some of his work. Yeah, he's very good. He's very like honestly, when we watch NXT, I honestly before that I never even heard of the guy. When he hit the boot salt, I think that was most people's reaction. Who was he?
Yeah.
Like who was he? Like was he a fan? But then as we've seen some of his work, I mean, I think we're appreciating the guy more, and he's very good. You know, he's athletic, he's agile,
and he's young.
He's kind of like
he's like 29 years old.
Like Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yes, yeah, Bam Bam Bigelow.
Like Vader, like those guys who are athletic for men of their size.
Vader. Yeah.
God rest his soul, Vader and Bam Bam Bigelow. Two of the best ever.
It has some
Bronson. And he's only 29 years old. I searched his age.
Yes, 29 years old. He's actually around my age.
He's only 29. Yeah, Cruz, he's only 29 years old. So he still has a whole lot of career ahead of him.
Yeah.
Honestly, I won't mind seeing him more on NXT.
Yeah.
And I think seeing the fact that they called up so many after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They needed a reboot.
They called up Ethan Page. They called up Joe Hendry. They called up Sol Ruca, Fatal Influence, JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Laney Reed. And they also called up Blake Monroe. And they called up Ricky Saints, who's debuting on SmackDown tonight as well. Yeah, NXT took a big blow in the call-ups, and they needed some fresh faces. Now, that's not going to be enough. They're going to need a lot more, but, I mean, you add Will Cruz, and now Evil from New Japan's there. Welcome to WWE Evil. He was on NXT. What his new name will be, time will tell, but Evil's now in WWE. I mean, welcome to WWE. I mean, he got a big pop on Tuesday, man, so good for him. Excited to see what he does. I think this is a former IWGP champion in New Japan was Evil. I have heard of his work. And Evil, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't he engaged to current Raw wrestler Io Sky?
Yes.
So Io's husband's now in WWE. So welcome to WWE Evil. Lizzie Rain, like I mentioned, Will Cruz. Also other names there. Think there's Lizzie Rain, there's Evil, Will Cruz, Tristan Angels, as well as Cam Hendricks. Now, Cam Hendricks, I believe, is the boyfriend of Maxine Dupree. I think he was also on LFG. He was there. And so was Tate Wilder and Tristan Angels. Now, there was another match on NXT I heard a lot of people gave praise to, some kind of tag team match with the Vanity Project. I think it was Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes, who I'm very high on, by the way. They're very, very good. I think they fought Tristan Angels and Tate Wilder, I think. I heard the match was very good. That tag match.
Yeah.
There are other guys to look out for, too. Don't sleep on them either. So, I mean, it's nice to see Shawn Michaels cooking on NXT with bringing in new faces, especially the call-ups that came to the main roster from NXT. Those are big blows to NXT, man, losing guys like Joe Hendry and losing people like Fatal Influence, including JC Jane, Sol Ruca, Ricky Saints, and others, Blake Monroe, Ethan Page. Like, those are big blows to NXT, man. So it's nice to see NXT kind of start to replenish their roster, but they're going to need a lot more, especially in the men's division, to get NXT to where it needs to be. That men's division department in NXT needs all the help they can get. So hopefully this is the start of that. Again, they're going to need a lot more. If they can add just some more credible men's names to that NXT show, I think NXT could be where it needs to be instead of right now. I think there's potential for that right there. Plus, I think Mike Santana has a contract coming up with TNA this July. So I expect him to go to NXT. Leon Slater, I think, is up with TNA around the same time this summer too. I expect him to go to NXT as well. So with NXT having Will Cross, Evil, and others, and then if they get Mike Santana and Leon Slater, NXT could be something, man. They could be something. So we'll see. And not Ricky Saints. Sorry, I don't know why I said Ricky Saints, but there's a lot of Rickies here. But Ricky said we hosted the Olympics. We can afford Mania and Wembley. I hope so, man. They deserve it. London and the UK have been asking for WrestleMania, they've been asking for a WrestleMania there in forever. And I think it's unfair to them that Saudi gets a Mania before them. I think that's really fucked up in my opinion. But I hope one day, and it's got to be. And Nick Khan teased for the WrestleMania in 2028. He said, "You're not going to believe where WrestleMania is going to be for WrestleMania 44 in 2028." I hope. Now, I know there's a top bidding right now with Nashville. I think this is Nissan Stadium, the home of SummerSlam 2022. That was in Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. That could be the location at this point for WrestleMania 44 in 2028. I would not mind that, but I would love for it to be Wembley Stadium in London. And London's never had a WrestleMania, and Wembley is the biggest London stadium you can think of. Now, I know that's AEW all-in territory, but WWE is petty towards AEW, but both companies are petty. But I mean, London having a WrestleMania and Wembley Stadium, that fits at least over 100,000, right, for capacity. I'm telling you right now, and I said this on last week's episode 22, you have a WrestleMania in London, England at Wembley, not even one match announced, and months away from that show, I'm telling you, instant like that, sellout. I'm telling you. There's no way it doesn't. So I'm sure you could probably concur with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the UK fans, are some of the most passionate fans in the world, not just in wrestling, but in any sports, like soccer.
Yes.
For example. Yeah, there's some of them. They are loud energy. They have passion. They're hungry for things.
They're a whole nother level.
They look forward to
the
shows.
UK is one of WWE's biggest markets. Why would you not explore WrestleMania in London? You'd be foolish not to. So I hope Nick Khan's talking about London for WrestleMania in 2028. I mean, I don't know where you think. I mean, I'm hoping it's London. Where do I think? It's probably going to be somewhere in the United States, probably like Nashville or New Orleans. I think in the running right now, I mean, there's top 5 rumors of WrestleMania 2028 where it could be. I think one of them is Wembley. The other is like Nissan Stadium, Caesars Superdome, which is New Orleans, where it was supposed to be for this year's WrestleMania. I think Orlando, and
I believe.
New Orleans, Nashville, and at least in the top 3, I guess. But hey, listen, where do you think WrestleMania is going to be in 2028? Indianapolis, yep, Indianapolis. At Lucas Oil Stadium, there's a deal partnership with WWE and Indianapolis Sports. They had a Royal Rumble. Now they're out of WrestleMania and SummerSlam. Maybe it's Indianapolis in 2028. Who knows? I would not mind that. And I heard they're a very popular wrestling city as well as Indianapolis. I would not mind that. But I think Wembley is better. But Adam Carl, I want to get your overall thoughts real quick on where you think WrestleMania could be in 2028 for WrestleMania 44.
I mean, there's a likely chance. I mean, there's a very good chance it goes to Nashville. I mean, I wouldn't mind. London, they deserve a WrestleMania. Please just do it already. But
they were supposed to get WrestleMania next year, but Saudi got it.
Yeah. I think Nashville, the city of Nashville. I don't know who runs the city, but they said that they back in 2023 that they were rebuilding Nissan Stadium,
Yes.
and that there was a verbal commitment between them and WWE to bring WrestleMania to 2027.
Yeah.
And it was actually going to happen for real. And
Yeah.
then, Saudi came in
Yeah, fucking
with
Saudi.
the money, and that's not going to happen now. At least not next year. So if they get it in 2028, hey, I won't mind it.
And you know something?
I
I've
mean,
never
the
been to
crowd was good
Nashville.
when they were.
I have heard a
Christmas
lot of
SummerSlam.
good about Nashville. I think it's popular nowadays. Young people's city and state, and other, not just young people, like people pretty much of all ages. I heard it's a popular city. The music and I think Elvis Presley. I think it's popular nowadays, modern day. And I've never. Some of my family has been there. They had a blast. I've never been to Nashville. But if WrestleMania, I'll tell you this, if WrestleMania comes to Nashville in 2028, I might go. Because I've never been to Nashville. So if they announce that WrestleMania in 2028 for WrestleMania 44 in Nashville, I may very well go. I might as well save up money for that, but I'm just throwing that out there because I've never been to Nashville, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, but if it's,
maybe we get.
I'm
Who
sorry.
knows? Maybe Bianca Belair will be back by.
Yeah.
Who knows? Bianca Belair will be back by then.
Hopefully. I heard she, like, with her joint or knuckle in her joint is like it's not going to be able to be fixable, but I don't know if this means she's stopped not wrestling anymore. I don't know, but it would suck if she's forced to retire, but we'll see. But we'll keep you guys updated on where WrestleMania 2028 could be. I'm sorry?
I don't think she's gonna retire. I think we'll see her back eventually.
Yeah, but
especially after she gives birth.
Yeah, but we'll let you guys know as soon as they announce the WrestleMania 2028 location. We'll keep you guys posted. So we hear something, we'll let you know. And Ricky in the chat, Vanity Project did a backstage segment. Tristan cut a promo. Tape made to save for someone. I can't remember right now. Yeah, something like that. But back to the NXT stuff. I thought it was very nice seeing new faces on NXT. So, and with Mike Santana coming in as well and Leon Slater, those are two good gets for WWE. There's no question they're going there as soon as their TNA deals are up. So we'll see what happens. But moving on to other talk. WrestleMania. Speaking of WrestleMania, next year's WrestleMania, it could be in late March, early April. Now, I don't like the fact it's in Saudi next year. And currently at this time, it's not being relocated unless things change. But as of now, they're still in Saudi for next year's WrestleMania, for WrestleMania 43 in 2027. I don't like it they're in Saudi, but I do like the fact they could have finally WrestleMania next year, finally a WrestleMania next year in late March, early April. I'm telling you, that is the way to go. These late April WrestleManias are a bust. They don't work whatsoever. And I think it's according to WrestleVotes, correct me if I'm wrong, that WrestleMania next year could be in late March, early April. I hope that is the case. I cannot stand these late April WrestleManias. The creative just loses steam, loses juice, loses momentum, and gives up when we get into like the later part of April with WrestleMania. If WrestleMania was back to late March, early April once again, I think the creative build going into Mania is a lot better off for it. Imagine had WrestleMania this year been in late March, early April, especially we got a decent Raw in the Garden late March this year. Imagine had WrestleMania this year been in early April, late March, bro. I really hope this is the case for next year and going forward. These late April WrestleManias have to fucking stop. I don't know what you think on that. I'm sure you feel the same way. And I know I'm not in the minority on this. I know I'm not the only one who feels this way.
I think it's a good thing that they're moving back to Mania in March or late March, beginning of April. I mean, this always should be that way. Like, I didn't get why they did it. I don't know why they pushed back to like mid-April. Like these builds, like the last two WrestleMania builds, like they've been such a bore. Like they were like a chore to sit through. It's like the creative team is just they don't know what they're doing when they build the Mania when it comes to mid-April. If you move it back to mid-March or March, late March, early April, it gives them actually it makes them put in an effort to build to the show.
Yeah. I mean, I know Nick Khan wanted like late April WrestleManias because WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia, like it was a no roof stadium and it was like very cold on night one. WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. Well, you could have late March, early April WrestleManias yearly from now on once again, as long as the stadiums for WrestleMania are closed. I always prefer a closed stadium WrestleMania to an open roof WrestleMania. Like the atmosphere you can hear a lot more and it's better when it's a closed roof. When it's an open roof, it's like it doesn't hit the same. Like it just doesn't come off that good. I think the closed stadium WrestleManias are just a lot better. Like WrestleMania 38 in Dallas, Texas, AT&T Stadium. That's a closed roof. You hear the noise and the atmosphere there. It was like very, very loud electric, you know? SoFi Stadium for WrestleMania 39 in 2023. SoFi Stadium in downtown Los Angeles in California. That's a closed roof. Same thing. You know what I mean? Even Allegiant Stadium. Vegas is not a cheap city to begin with, but I mean, even like with Io, Bianca, and Rhea from last year's Mania, and then Punk and Roman this year's Mania, you hear the atmosphere, the noise. Oba and Brock at this year's Mania night 2. You hear the Oba, woo, those chants. Like, imagine if that was like a open roof WrestleMania. I don't think it would hit the same whatsoever. So you could do late March, early April WrestleManias again from now on for the foreseeable future. You could do those once again, but you have a closed stadium for WrestleMania. If you it's like, I feel like if WrestleMania 40 was like a closed stadium, in my opinion, I don't think it would probably be a thing where Nick Khan would move WrestleMania to late April because of the cold weather. So, I mean, you could do late March, early April WrestleManias again for the foreseeable future and beyond, but I think they need to stay away from open roof stadiums for WrestleMania. That means like MetLife, as hard as it is, it's near me. That's an open roof. Can get cold there, I guess. Sometimes it can get cold there sometimes, depending on the day or weather. But you know what I mean, right? I mean, I'm sure you feel the same way, dude.
Yeah, I feel the same. Makes them put in an effort to make a good build up.
Yeah.
Because if you add those extra weeks, it's like they give up.
It's like they drags, and it's like then you gotta wait, and it's like we need things to happen now. They just drag it and wait, and we gotta wait and wait.
Yeah,
I really hope that's the case next year. Though I hate it in Saudi, but I will say this: hopefully the rumor is true that they are in late March, early April next year. That's a lot better off. And if it works, I hope they continue that from now on and don't never do late April WrestleManias ever again. Those just don't work. Even look at Stand and Deliver this year, April 4th. Look at how really good that show. Look at how good that show was. That should tell you all you need to know. That WrestleMania should always be in late March or early April. These late April WrestleManias, it kills the vibe. It doesn't work. They've tried it for 2 years and it just doesn't work. Even if it's mid-April, fine. But late April is a big no-no for me. I don't approve of that whatsoever. So that's that for WrestleMania talk. But bro, I got something to ask you. What do you think of this AI thing that they had with Zarya? Oh, we got Xavier in the chat. I hope Mania is coming to the East Coast sooner than later. I'm not sure. I think trying to think of closed stadiums for the Northeast, like trying to think of because you got a lot of open ones in like Boston. There is MetLife in New Jersey, MetLife Stadium. It's a shame that we don't have a big closed huge stadium in New York. It's a shame. I mean, there's Yankee Stadium, Baseball Field Stadium, but that's an open roof. But I mean, and there'll never be an MSG ever again. I mean, I wish upon a star WrestleMania could return to Madison Square Garden, but that's never going to happen, unfortunately. But it's just a shame we don't have a Northeast closed indoor stadium. Even Buffalo Bills Stadium in Buffalo, New York, that's an open roof stadium. But yeah, I agree with you, Xavier. Oh, Xavier says, don't come to Yankee Stadium, please. I beg you, WWE. I don't want to see Yankee fans on my TV. Well, I love you, Xavier, but I'm sorry I'm a Yankees fan. They've been doing good, by the way. And sorry about them Mets fans. They've been not too hot lately, so I feel bad for them. I mean, overhaul the team, fire the coach or the GM. I mean, that Mets team is a fucking mess, dude, I'll tell you.
Hey, man.
Yeah?
I'm just fixing the background. I'm just fixing the background and the logo. So give me 1 second, and there we go.
Yes. The man of the hour, Mitch.
Of course, guys. Of course. Have a great show. I'll see you guys in a bit.
All right. Shout out to Mitch, by the way.
Yep. There you
go. Yeah. And, oh, Xavier, I'm well aware my Red Sox suck. You don't say. Well, sorry, I'm a big Yankees fan, though. They're just big Yankees fan. They're doing good this year, but they play today, I think, against the Orioles later on today, the Baltimore Orioles. Not a big fan of the Orioles, but we'll see what happens with MLB. But that's a discussion for another time. But back to the wrestling talk, this AI stuff, Adam Carl. They have this thing on NXT with Zarya and Sol Ruka. This AI slop is what I call it. I did not like this. Now, AI, I think, can work. But A, you got to work out the kinks to make sure it works properly. And B, some instances AI works. Other instances, it does not work. This instant, it does not work. I understand AI is what's everything in the world nowadays. But you can't really always rely on AI. You can't really always depend on it. I don't know what you thought of this execution with the Zarya Sol Ruka AI's thing during NXT this past Tuesday. I thought it looked terrible. I thought it looked absolutely just horrible with what I saw. I really hope they never do something like this on NXT or any WWE programming ever again. This looked absolutely god-awful.
It was so bad, bro. It was so bad.
Like Sol Ruka, like
I don't know what
the face is like, kind of like this. It looked like trash. It was garbage.
Like literally, I seen the face, or what wasn't her face. I seen the Sol Ruka in that image. It looks nothing like Sol Ruka. Like, nope. Like seriously, like who was this?
Yeah,
seriously,
you can tell it looks fake. Like, dude, there are people on social media, not even wrestling, that even post stuff that may look real, but it looks so fucking choreographed and staged and fake. I'm sure you've seen, like, not just wrestling people doing this or that, but it may look real, but it looks so fucking fake, obvious. Like, this is the world we're living in today with AI. I mean, Google's AI, everything's AI, but you can't really rely on AI. I mean, AI can work in some instances, but other instances, AI should be nowhere near. Like, with coming up, like, I heard a rumor that WWE is using AI for stories. I heard that rumor as well. I don't know what you think on that, but with AI, there's certain, like, places like in WWE AI can work, but from storyline creative, AI should be nowhere near that. I think, like, there's some instances of trying to think with AI where it could work in WWE, like crunching numbers or whatnot. That could work. I don't know what you can think of, but with creative storylines, AI doesn't work. Or come up with something else, you know? What are your thoughts?
I think AI can be used for good. Like you could use it for good, but like it's still new. When has it been a thing? What, a year?
Yeah.
There's things to be worked out. But don't use it for images and video packages.
Like promos, like you need to feel the emotion coming from the wrestlers. Like promos, AI should be far away from that as possible.
Literally. Promos, vignettes, interviews, like they should be as far away from this.
Maybe some ideas in the back.
Had Zarya on the show.
Go ahead.
Yeah, like you had Zarya, like in the back, like backstage. Like I'm sure she was. Like you can have her cut a backstage promo herself.
Yeah, or cut a promo in the ring. Either one, or have a video package that's not AI. Like show the matches, but anything like that, or make it not AI, but have Zarya come, like have a photo. Like a paper photo in her hand of her and Soruka Zarya, and she takes a flame and burns it. Do that. That's not AI. That would have been a lot better. The slop we got with the AI shit on Tuesday was fucking awful. Awful. I hope they never do that again. I hope they learn their lesson on that. They should never, ever do that again. AI is not all bad, but you have to be careful with AI. Otherwise, it could destroy everything of a certain thing like wrestling or anything. So they really need to play their cards right on this. And some departments, AI should not belong in there. Like some ideas, not taking over all creative, but maybe a few ideas. Maybe. But like promos, no. I'm sorry. That doesn't work.
Promos are like an institution of this business. Like, the most important things, not just the wrestling, promos, vignettes, video packages, backstage interviews, in-ring interviews.
Yeah.
Like these are important things of the business. Like you don't take those away. You don't take away art from the artists by replacing them with AI.
Like even not just wrestling, other jobs, not just wrestling. Like you can't always rely on AI because sometimes because AI is not really always right. You could Google something and it's AI generated and it says like this specifically, but just because it says that doesn't mean it's right. You can't always trust or rely so dependently on AI. You can't. Like, I mean, again, it can work, but you just got to be careful how you use it and where you use it. Like, even not just wrestling, I see other jobs, even like some like doctor's offices, some use AI. It's crazy.
Well, I think, or even seen graphic designers.
Yes.
You see those images where it's made of AI and not by graphic designers. Like you can't take away their work and replace them with slop.
Like when I make my YouTube shorts, I don't use, I mean, it's not AI, it's not Grok, ChatGPT. I would much rather that than AI. At least, like sometimes you could trust ChatGPT, like for strong titles, or I've heard some people make resumes for job interviews using ChatGPT. Or like cover letters using ChatGPT.
Grok.
Or ChatGPT.
Yeah.
But AI can work, but you have to be very cautious with it. Otherwise, you're going to kill the vibe, whether it's wrestling or MLB baseball or basketball. Like, could you imagine MLB or NFL or NBA using AI? I mean, if they use it right, fine. But if it's not right, could you imagine? Imagine MLB baseball. Like they have a highlight from a last week MLB game, say the Yankees versus the Mets, for example. They have a highlight from last week's game or the day before game, right? Could you imagine if MLB used AI slop for that shit? How unrealistic, unbelievable it would just be. It wouldn't be a good look whatsoever. It just come off very, very bad. Like, could you imagine them doing that? That would be terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Or if the NBA like used AI and they made images of their athletes, trying to make it seem like it was them, running and they putting the ball to the net.
Yeah, or if someone is trying to slide into a first base and when they slide, like the fire flames come from the bottom of their shoe, like that's not realistic. That's not believable.
It's unbelievably goofy. Like it's so stupid.
Or I've seen AI videos on X, man saving a puppy from like an ocean, like diving into water to save the puppy from or whatnot in a deep ocean, and the sharks come and they outrun the sharks in the water in the ocean. That's not believable. That's all AI. I've seen it, and I'm not making this up. I see it every day.
Oh my god,
it's not believable.
Like, bro, if I want to, if a man were to save a dog from a puppy from being drowned, it should look real.
Yeah,
like it should look real, not made by AI. Like it's like tasteless.
Yeah, but this is the world we're living in with AI.
Like a lot of people just use AI so wrong. Literally.
Yeah. If you use it wrong, it's never going to work. But if you use it right, it can work. But if you're not careful enough, it's going to really go to shit. I really hope WWE learn their lesson on this. This needs to be a lesson learned. I hope this is the one only time they do this. They should never, WWE should never use WWE should never use AI for their shit with stuff like this ever again. Never again.
And it's not just WWE too. This doesn't apply to them too. AEW, this happens to AEW too. Like Tony Khan, Tony went on an interview and he says that he tried using AI one time to write an episode of Dynamite, and then he didn't like it.
Could you imagine if he had? Could you imagine if Tony had actually gone forward with using AI? Or whether it's Grok or what have you, Chat GPT. How can I book this Dynamite on this specific Wednesday night of the month? What are the best solutions?
I know the solutions of the Rascals in a trios match against the Demand.
Or you call them the Not So Demand? Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona. I know they're your favorites, bro. The Demand.
The Not So Demand. Like who demanded this? Who is demanding for AI to make video packages? Or the Don Callis family having an entire hour show to themselves, and we get matches like Kazuchika Okada against Trent ?
Oh Jesus Christ!
Or Rocky Romero against Lance Archer.
Yeah. Enough to put you to sleep. And Ricky in the chat says, how does AI even make a video like that? I mean, it's the power of AI. I mean, listen, I don't use that shit often at all. I'm more of an old school, like non-AI head. That's just the more natural way to go. It really is. It goes a long way. Like to wipe that out completely by AI is a bad look. You can't do that. And we can't let that happen. That's just nothing positive about that whatsoever. But like I said, I hope WWE seriously learned their lesson on this. I really, really do. This was garbage. Absolute fucking garbage. Never do something like this ever again. Never, ever again. But moving on. And speaking of NXT, did you hear of the NXT PLE news? It's coming to the CW starting this summer. Apparently, there he is. There's Adam Carl. I don't know what happened to Adam Carl. Did Tony Khan try to hack him? Did AI try to hack him?
Yeah, because we mentioned him trying to use AI that one time.
Yeah,
he may as well be using AI, to all we know.
Yeah, but NXT, starting this summer, their PLEs are exclusively going to be on and with the CW. Whether I think it's the CW app or the channel CW, but it starts this summer. I think this is great. Now, there was another thing that it's also going to be with ESPN Unlimited. And a lot of people thought, oh, what happened to the CW? They're going to be not with the CW. It's the PLEs are going to be on the CW, but also another platform. They're not going to be leaving CW, just ESPN. There's an option of both, but the CW even announced that partnership deal. It's like a multi-year deal with NXT PLEs exclusively on the CW starting this summer. I think this is a great move. What do you think?
I like it. It's a good move.
Yeah.
And
like
NXT shows to the CW.
Uh-huh.
Moving it to the CW, honestly, those shows, I think it's a good move.
Yeah.
It does strengthen the partnership between both the WWE and the CW network with NXT.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see more content on there. I'm all for it.
They have NXT on the CW on Tuesdays, and they have like an NXT PLE the next day on Wednesday. They could do something like that. Like, imagine NXT had their NXT episode Tuesday of the CW, right? The next day, they could be in like a smaller arena, like edgier, like say like Poughkeepsie, New York, MJN Center, which is near me. They could do something like that, or like the Factory in St. Louis, like these cities, but with like the smaller indoor arenas. It gives a more edgier feeling, something like that. Or like Wildwoods, New Jersey, the convention center. That's another one. WWE's not been to those shows in a long time. I went to at least one of them in, I think it was 2008 when CM Punk was world champion. I was there. That was, believe it or not, that was my first ever WWE live event. That was Wildwood Crest, New Jersey on the boardwalk. Convention Center. CM Punk was the world champ on Raw in 08 at the time. That was a fun time. Crowd was loud. I would love to see an NXT PLE say like there. I think that would be great. Poughkeepsie, New York, MJN Center, the Civic Center, Poughkeepsie, New York. That would also be good. Like, I think this is a great move. And if NXT went to like say Poughkeepsie or MJN Center for NXT PLE, I would go, no questions asked. That's like not far. It's like not even 10 minutes from me where I live. I love this move, man. I really, really do. And a fun little fact, NXT for a house show tour in Poughkeepsie was supposed to be around this time, beginning of May of 2020, but then COVID hit. Then they had to reschedule. Then COVID was getting worse. Then they canceled it altogether in 2020. I really hope NXT, or at least I really hope WWE, at least NXT, comes back to Poughkeepsie in the future. There's such good memories of WWE wrestling and pro wrestling in the city Poughkeepsie, the Civic Center. Like Randy Savage, I think, debuted in that building. Miss Elizabeth did. Andre the Giant wrestled there. Hulk Hogan. You ask some of these wrestlers, active nowadays or retired wrestlers, they'll tell you the same exact thing that I'm saying. I don't think Poughkeepsie gets the enough credit. I think it's a very underrated city for pro wrestling. I do. And I think they deserve a lot more respect as a wrestling city. And they don't get enough of that, and they should. I don't know what you think of that, and I don't know what you think of this NXT PLE move. I think this is great, but I want to get your overall thoughts. Like, I mean, like you said, it's a great move, but I mean, I'll leave the floor to you on this.
Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, it's a good move on their part. They're getting more shows. They're getting more events. So, yeah.
But I mean, it's like
why not do more? I mean, if the relationship is good, and if they're doing well, I mean, I don't see why they won't continue it. I don't see why they won't want more.
Yeah. Like I said, if NXT came back to Poughkeepsie, I would go. Seriously. And I'm not kidding. I would go, no questions asked. Like the NXT was supposed to be in Poughkeepsie, New York in the spring of 2020. I had my front row tickets already, all purchased and ready. Then the pandemic, COVID-19 hit, and it was a shame. and the world shut down 6 years ago. I was so bummed out. I really hope they make that up soon in the future. I think, and shout out to JD from NY206 and Jonathan Coachman. If you watch during a little portion of their show this past Tuesday afternoon, they talked about the NXT PLE on CW deal. Jonathan Coachman brought up maybe NXT PLE in Poughkeepsie. I remember hearing on that, and shout out to those guys, by the way. I remember them bringing that up. I think that would be really good. I hope that's the case in the future, but we'll see. We'll see. But other news I do want to talk about here. This fan, Marc Izard. Now, if you don't know who Marc Izard is, a big-time WWE and wrestling fan. He was at WrestleMania weekend in Las Vegas this year, April 18th, April 19th. Unfortunately, on April 18th, he went missing, and then they found him dead. So, unfortunately, Marc Izard, a wrestling fan, during WrestleMania weekend this year, unfortunately passed away, which is very sad. Like, apparently he went missing, and then they found the body, but he was dead at that point. Very, very sad. I want to give this floor to you, dude, first on this. It's a shame.
Yeah, like, it's unfortunate what happened. It's unfortunate what happened. Like, it's like nobody wants to hear news like this.
No.
Like somebody going missing, and then by the time they're found, they're already dead. Like, it's unfortunate. Like, it's very, very sad. I'm sending my my prayers and my condolences to his family and his friends.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine what they're going through right now.
Like, apparently I've seen it on social media. I've seen on X, like, photos of this guy missing. Like, he was missing during Mania weekend in Vegas. I don't know what the hell happened to him, but something was not good. Something was not right.
Yeah.
Oh, and Ricky in the chat. A GoFundMe has been sent up to bring Mark's body back to England. All right. Well, there you have it. But it's really sad what happened to this guy. I mean, I don't know what else to say that other than it's unfortunate. My prayers and condolences go out to him with the family and everyone that loved him so much. So really, really sorry to hear on that. Oh, and Ricky in the chat, he apparently had underlying health issues. Well, he was also a big guy too, so. Oh, geez.
I mean, if that's the case, it's even sadder.
I don't know, like maybe health issues, maybe heart issues. I don't know. I don't want to speculate, but man, that's terrible. That is terrible, dude. That is awful. I have no words on that. It's really a shame, honestly, but I don't know what else to say on that. Do you, Adam Carl?
It's unfortunate. That's all I will say.
Yeah, but moving on.
I'm sending my prayers again. I'm saying my prayers again. Sending him again to his prayers. Sending his family, his friends, his fans, my prayers and condolences.
Yeah,
it's just a very sad situation. I hope they're doing well and they're being taken care of with love and respect.
Yeah. Other news. I might as well bring this up. Ric Flair, the Nature Boy. Woo! It looks like he was in the news too. He spoke something about Ludwig Kaiser. Oh, Ricky, before we talk about that, Ricky says about this Marc Izard fan, he was only 43. That's sad. That's not old. 43 is not old at all. Had such more left to give. That terrible. That's terrible. And it's so young. He didn't even look like 43, but to die at 43, that's even worse. Like 43 is not old whatsoever. Hell, I'd say even 70 years old is not old. 70 years old to me is not old. My father passed away at 70, 11 years ago from pancreatic cancer at 70, 11 years ago. He died at 70. That's not even old in my opinion. And it's not old. 70 is not old. But Marc Izard dying at 43, that's tragic. That is tragic, dude. But moving on to the Ric Flair talk. Apparently, it looks like Ric Flair was in one of his drunk modes the other day, huh? Saying he could kick Ludwig Kaiser's ass. Ric Flair, the more things, Ric Flair, I mean, he never, it's like they say the more things change, the more they stay the same. Yeah. The more things don't change with Ric Flair, the more they stay the same. With the good old nature boy, jet wheeling, limousine riding, jet flying son of a gun. The 16-time world champion, huh? The nature boy, Ric Flair.
He embarrasses himself 16 times a month. 16 times, not a month. That's being generous. No, that's being generous. He embarrasses himself 16 times a day.
You think?
Like what was he doing? Like, bro, he goes on the Ariel Helwani show to talk about WrestleMania, and yet he talks about other topics that has nothing to do with WrestleMania that Ariel did not even ask him about.
And he claims, listen to this. He
goes on rants on
Stevie
Richards and Dutch Mantel.
Yeah. Yeah, Dutch Mantel. Who?
He rants about Stevie Richards.
Yeah, Dutch Mantel is another dinosaur.
Yeah.
He's another guy that's in the bin, Dutch Mantel.
I don't know what he did badly, but like, why was he mentioning him? He talks about, the amount of women he sleeps with.
Oh, Jesus.
I'd
love to not know
Kaiser. Then he talks about Ludwig Kaiser.
And Ric Flair says this. He claims he wasn't invited to WrestleMania 42 due to an incident involving Ludwig Kaiser. Huh? And then he says he could beat Ludwig Kaiser's ass. 80-year-old Ric Flair up against a young Ludwig Kaiser? Yeah, good luck. Oh, but Ric Flair could beat his ass. He's a nature boy. Woo! Oh, you mean Ric Flair going... And this tells me, like, even when Ric Flair was on WWE Wrestling TV, he'd take off his shirt, he'd go crazy. Woo! Like he hits the rope, strut. Woo! Like in promo segments, it's like, oh my god. You watch him like, oh my god, this nutcase. This tells me like another Ric Flair in this instant, but it's not in the ring. This guy, man, Ric Flair. He never ceases to amaze. He never ceases to amaze me with stuff like this. I think even recently, a couple years ago, he had some like issue at a bar or caused a fight in a bar. Correct me if I'm wrong. He caused some kind of incident or whatnot, right? But I think he was even kicked out of the bar too. I'm trying to remember, but Ric Flair. Oh, and by the way, Ric Flair says, remember where he retired in 2008?
Yeah, sure.
But he does retire in 2008 to Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 24. Yeah. Ric Flair, 2010 goes to TNA. Guess what? Wrestles. Then Ric Flair in the Indies in 2022. Last match. Wrestles. Sorry about that, guys. I guess they didn't like what I had to say. They made me sneeze. But Adam Carl, bro. your take on this whole thing with Ric Flair and Ludwig Kaiser.
It's embarrassing. Like it's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Then again, this is Ric Flair. When does he not embarrass himself?
And he says
it's just at the same time though, it's just so sad. Like you got a legend of this business. You have a legend of this business. He's going out there and he's embarrassing himself all the time. He's like I don't know if he's basically saying this while sober or if he's drunk out of his fucking mind.
Or if he's losing his mind. Never mind being drunk, losing his mind. And this man is 77 years old.
Yeah, he's 77. Going on to 80. He's gonna be approaching 80 in a few years.
Oh, but what does this have to do with Charlotte Flair saying last year, is that why Kaiser's in my DMs with the feud with Tiffany Stratton going into last year's Mania?
What does Ludwig Kaiser have to do with this?
Nothing. Oh, and by the way, Kaiser Americano, Gracias, is killing it with AAA. Yeah, where's Ric Flair?
Yeah.
Oh my God. But yeah, this was embarrassing.
There's the other thing. There's the funny part. He called Ludwig Kaiser. This is what makes it what makes it even more embarrassing with Flair. He called Ludwig Kaiser an Englishman.
An Englishman. Ric Flair. I think maybe you're not doing your homework. You know, Ludwig Kaiser is German, not English, correct? So that's a wrong for Flair right there. When you say this was embarrassing with Flair, that's an understatement.
Man. It's just embarrassing. It's just all around. Like it's sad. It's like bro, you should be enjoying life right now with his daughter.
Yeah.
And instead he's going on these rants, these embarrassing rants about a guy that he does not even know, and he hasn't even met.
Yeah. It's really sad how Ric Flair has been from here but down from there. It really is. And the guy has tarnished his own legacy. Like Ric Flair is not an embarrassment. Really? Really now? He says he's retired from wrestling after WrestleMania in 2028 and for the WrestleMania 24 where Shawn Michaels ended Ric Flair's career. Remember that? Yeah, Ric Flair tarnished that by wrestling in TNA, shitting all over that. Oh, but Ric Flair's not an embarrassment. Yeah. You mean that? I mean, how is he not an? Ric Flair's not an embarrassment. How is he not an embarrassment when he's tarnishing his own legacy, saying that that when I lose, I'll retire, I'll never wrestle again. Yeah, went back on those words, and he wrestles in TNA, and he wrestles on the Indies. Oh, but Ric Flair's not a joke. Is not making a joke of his own legacy. Sure thing, buddy. Sure thing.
He had a match. He had a tag team match. And in the middle of the ring, he was having a heart attack.
I think it was one of those things where he just falls on his face, or one of his signature things he does in the ring, like that. Something like that. But yeah, this is embarrassing with Ric Flair all around. But we're gonna move on from this. I was thinking of maybe bringing this up in today's episode. I was thinking, or maybe not, but I guess we might as well. Want to get your thoughts on this Janelle Grant stuff. Apparently, Janelle Grant has some FBI letters to share on social media. And I mean, you probably have a better description of this than I do, but it's from the feds, and it's from letters from May 2023 to December 2025 via Janelle Grant regarding Vince McMahon. Now, WWE is still in the Janelle Grant lawsuit, and then they have a WWE merger lawsuit that's supposed to go to trial next month in June. Adam Carl, what do you think of this whole situation with this Janelle Grant? Apparently, these recent letters, and now I know this is during the show and this new. I'm just looking this up. Brock Lesnar's WWE future could also depend on the Janelle Grant lawsuit fallout as well. Now, if you remember, the original Janelle Grant allegations in January 2024, where Vince McMahon sex trafficked Janelle Grant. Then Janelle Grant said an active wrestler on the roster was also involved, allegedly Brock Lesnar, whereas apparently said that it was claims that Brock Lesnar was involved, and he told Janelle Grant to urinate for him live on film, and then he called her a bitch. Now Brock's on TV, or he's retired. It looks like it. Hopefully he is. I mean, Obafemi's a perfect guy to retire him, but no matter what you think of him, the guy's a draw. But but if it's true what he did, I don't agree with that whatsoever. And I don't condone that behavior at all, period. But what do you think of this whole Janelle Grant situation and these lawsuits and this trial thing in June? And apparently it's these letters from the FBI. Apparently. We talked about this the other day. What do you think of this whole situation? I want to get your take on it.
Vince McMahon. Three things that are true in life. Three things you can depend on. There are three things true.
Three things in life.
Death, taxes, and Vince McMahon not staying out of trouble.
Surprised?
Of course not. Of course not.
Oh, well, these letters don't mean a damn thing. They don't mean shit. This Vince will get away with it. He'll be a slap on the wrist. He'll get away with it. I doubt, do I want Vince to be innocent? No. No, I don't want him to be innocent at all. He's gotten away with way too much for way too long. I mean, do I think he goes to jail? Probably not, because he's going to throw money on it, because he thinks, let me throw money at stuff that makes everything better. I mean, I wish he doesn't get away with it and he ends up in fucking jail, locked up. That's where he deserves to be. The man should be in a fucking jail cell. Lock him up and throw away the fucking key. Do I think that happens? No, because I think he's going to throw money at it to try and fight it. But I really do hope, I swear my father's and grandfather's graves, God rest their souls, I really wish Vince doesn't get away with this and he's found guilty and he goes to jail. But these FBI letters, I don't know if it's something, maybe Janelle Grant knows something nobody else knows. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think may happen? I really want to get more of your stuff with you on this, dude. And apparently this is from the feds. She must know something nobody else knows. I mean, and stuff like this does not go out in the way it did unless you got evidence. There's got to be evidence on this, solid, concrete evidence that Vince had to have been doing something he should not have been doing. Dude, what do you think?
There's a conviction rate of a 95% when it comes when the FBI gets involved.
And didn't this man Vince 3 years ago, wasn't it the summer of 2023 before Vince and the sale endeavor was complete of WWE? Around the time when Vince was going to get spinal surgery, he was getting spinal surgery, right? Around the time, wasn't Vince McMahon hit with a search warrant and a federal subpoena? The man was hit with a search warrant and a subpoena. Well, around the time he was going to go get spine surgery. Then when he does get the spine surgery, then they struck. Someone in the company, at the time, was trying to get him out bad. I really hope there's justice for Janelle Grant. I doubt it, because Vince will probably try and throw money on it. But Vince wanted apparently to go to arbitration, wants to get cleared of this whole thing. I hope it goes to trial and he's not cleared, but I don't know. But apparently, again, this is from the feds. And when the feds are involved, you know shit's about to go down.
This guy is getting what he deserves. He should get exactly what he deserves. He's got away with so much for too long.
Dude, look at all the women he's raped and the lives he's ruined. The women he abused and used, making their lives miserable, ruining their lives. Like all the women he had NDA to shut them up, using company money to get all these ladies to keep their mouth shut and not say a word of what Vince did to them while Vince was having sexual affairs with them and cheating on his wife and have them NDA'd right up the ass. You can't say this, you can't say that. Imagine how those women feel. Imagine how all those women feel that were raped and just abused and mistreated by this old sex pest, by this fucking pedophile, this monster, this fucking piece of shit known as Vince McMahon. Fuck him. And no way he should, there's no way in hell should he be getting away with this. The guy's like a fucking human cockroach. The guy has gotten away with way too much for way too long. The man should be in jail. The man should be locked up in fucking jail. And if you defend Vince McMahon in any way, you're just as bad as he is. I tell you, I hope they find dirt on this that forces the judge to say, Vince McMahon, you're in custody. And apparently the WWE's in a merger lawsuit too. Apparently Vince McMahon, and I'm not surprised. You know how Vince sold the company 3 years ago to his friend Ari? And it was never about selling the company. You remember when Vince was forced out to retire the first time in July 2022? You really think that man wanted to retire? WWE is his life. If wrestling's not in Vince's life, Vince is lost and doesn't know what else to do. Like, wrestling completely out of Vince's life, to me, I could compare it to how the death of Eddie Guerrero severely affected Chris Benoit. Wrestling completely out of Vince's life, it affects Vince so much like a spouse. It affects Vince so much how the death of Eddie affected Benoit. You know?
I don't know if I would be comparing a merger to a death. I don't know if it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I may see the comparison. You know, if something isn't in his life, then he doesn't know what to do. I can understand the assessment. I don't know if I would compare selling the company to a person's death.
Right, yeah, in that instance, no, but like wrestling completely out of Vince's life, Vince doesn't know what to do with himself in his life.
Yeah,
like this guy
I can see the comparison, and I can understand the assessment. I could understand, saying, if something isn't in his life, then he doesn't know what to do. It's like he doesn't have anything else. Like, bro, enjoy life with your grandkids. Go watch a movie.
But then again, does Vince care about his own family? Of course he doesn't.
No, he probably hates his own grandkids too.
Yep. But dude, I hope this shit goes to trial, and I hope they find something in these letters that causes the judge to say, Vince McMahon, you're guilty. I really fucking hope so. All the shit he did to Janelle Grant, all these women over the years, and other people ruining people's lives over the years, I hope this man gets what's coming to him. And apparently the WWE's in another merger lawsuit too, like I said. Remember when Vince sold the company 3 years ago, and it was said that it's a kind of a sham sale that Vince was trying to sell to regain ultimate power? Yeah, no shit. Apparently in this lawsuit, that's what it's said, that we're suing Vince in this merger lawsuit, and I think it's a shareholder thing merger lawsuit against Vince and WWE and TKO, that Vince sold the company because he wanted ultimate power back. No fucking shit, Sherlock. No shit. And when Vince was forced to retire the first time in July 2022, you don't think Vince was immediately on the phone with Ari Emanuel and Mark Shapiro trying to find a plan to get back the company? You don't think that? If you don't think that, I don't know what you're smoking. And then recently, Mark Shapiro tried to contradict that. Oh, well, the merger lawsuit, this with Vince McMahon. Oh, I forget what he said. He contradicts something. Not surprised, Mark Shapiro. Like, this tells me Mark Shapiro's trying to cover up for Vince. Tells me that. And you know when Vince sold the company to Endeavor and his friend Ari Emanuel to merge with WWE UFC and a TKO, when that was first announced in early April 2023, remember on CNBC, Ari Emanuel said, oh, I wanted to have done the deal without Vince McMahon. I would have body slammed him. Body slammed him? This man should be in jail. This man should be locked up like a rat in a fucking cage.
I should have been behind bars already.
You don't think Vince was immediately on the phone with Ari and Shapiro after he was first forced out in July 2022? Vince never wanted to go. That man was forced out.
If we're up to him, the man would be on his chair right now until he dies.
Yeah, the man was going to die in that chair because he didn't know what else to do if it wasn't wrestling. Apparently, this merger lawsuit, it said that Vince sold the company as a sham sale and he ignored other potential bidders that would have been a lot better off than Endeavor. And he ignored those and went with Endeavor so he could get power. Apparently, that's what this merger lawsuit. And it looks like, and if it goes to trial, it looks like Vince could be a liability, no shit, and probably Ari. No shit there. I hope so too. It was never about a sale of the company, dude. It was never, ever about selling the company. The company did not need to be sold. It was just fine under Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. Say what you want about Triple H the past year or so, playing it safe. But if WWE, I swear to God, if WWE was not under TKO and so corporate like it is now with the constant commercials and the ads on the turnbuckles, on the tables, and on the ring canvases, and the constant commercials with the ESPN shit, and yada, yada, yada. If WWE was not under TKO and Endeavor and outpricing the average fans, if Endeavor and TKO had absolutely zero to do with WWE, and it was just a family-owned independent company with just Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, I swear to God, WWE would be a lot better now. WWE would be a lot better than it is right now. You wouldn't be having these constant releases, like have to release these certain amount of people. You wouldn't see these multiple releases all the time. Like, this company did not need to be sold. It was just fine and in good hands within Vince's family. And Vince sold the company as a big fuck you to his daughter and son-in-law and his family. Vince sold the company out of jealousy and spite. It was never about selling the company, bro. Never. Selling the company was not needed. It was unnecessary. And Vince only sold it to reclaim the power he lost via the Wall Street Journal back in the summer of 2022. That's all that was.
Exactly. Like, this guy is selfish. He's evil. He doesn't want to see anyone succeed other than himself.
He couldn't stand the fact his family ran it better than him in late 2022. And Vince couldn't take it anymore. He sold the company out of jealousy and spite. I'm going to give the floor to you on this, dude. Anything else to say on this situation?
Honestly, I hope this leads to jail type of this man. Like this guy, people like him should not be roaming this earth. They are evil. They are phony. They are terrible human beings.
And apparently, this merger TKO lawsuit. Apparently, it's like, and if this is found guilty and goes to trial, it looks like not only Vince could be a liability, Ari could be a liability too.
I will say he sent Ari Emanuel to jail. I mean, I don't know who he assaulted. He hasn't assaulted anybody.
But it would be a terrible look.
Like, he human trafficked people. He sex trafficked, raped, sexually assaulted women.
You know, Endeavor knew of Vince's allegations, yet they negotiated with the sale with him anyway. And they did nothing about it. I don't feel sorry for them.
Literally.
Why would you?
They knew what they were up to. They knew this guy was a liability, and they didn't give a shit.
And who's to say Vince, Ari, and Shapiro didn't negotiate with the sale of the company after Vince was originally forced out in July 2022? Who's to say? I know it's a conspiracy wild thing to think of, but who's to say? And I'm going to take my conspiracy cap, take it off, put it back on. Who's to say with that? That Ari, Vince, and Shapiro didn't negotiate trying to sell the company to Endeavor for Vince to get power back after Vince was originally forced out in July 2022. That man didn't want to leave. He didn't want to retire. Call me crazy on that, but that's what I think.
Very good chance though that something like that happened.
And if that's the case, I hope Vince gets what's coming to him, and I hope Ari and Shapiro get what's coming to them. And I knew, like, when Vince tried to sell the company 3 years ago, you knew it was never about selling the company. And the board, when Vince was like, "Oh, I want to come back to sell the company," December 2022. "Oh, I have intentions of returning back." And didn't the board unanimously vote Vince no, stay away? It was Nick Khan, Stephanie McMahon, and Triple H, Paul Levesque. They unanimously voted this man, Vince McMahon, no, Vince, stay away. You being back is a bad look on the company and a black eye on the company. And then Vince fired some board members, replaced them with yes men with George Barrios and Michelle Wilson. Remember them? And Brad Blum. Remember him too?
Yeah, 2 people that he fired.
A bunch of George Barrios and Michelle Wilson and Brad Blum. Vince McMahon, nothing but Vince McMahon yes men who are not going to argue Vince. Yeah, where are they now? Gone. I really hope Vince and company get what's coming to them. I really do. I really do. They have gotten away with it for far too fucking long. At some point, dude, they get what's coming to them. At some point, their luck runs out. And they get exactly what's coming to them. And they are evil. People like Vince are fucking evil. And this guy would say the same thing too. Vince deserves to be in jail. He shouldn't be trying to buy back WWE or have another company. The man should be in jail. 80-year-old Vince should be in jail. "Oh, well, you're too mean and harsh for an old man to be in jail. You're too mean. We can't do that. That's harsh." What is this, fucking pussification? Enough of that. Vince gets what he deserves. Point blank.
It doesn't matter if the people are 80 years old or they're fucking 20. You don't rape women. You don't sexually assault women. And then have them sign NDAs. Because you didn't want all this stuff to come out in public because you knew this would make you look bad.
Yep. We'll see what happens with this lawsuit. Anything updates, if anything big happens, we'll certainly let you guys know on this for sure. But moving on to other stuff, apparently, did you hear the news of SmackDown moving back to 2 hours, bro? Are you excited? I could tell you're excited, bro.
What excitement?
Aren't you excited for SmackDown moving back to 2 hours? Or no longer going to be 3 hours, bro? Apparently, Braun Strowman's everything on the menu shows are turning to USA Network this year. Oh, What's happened with Adam Carl, man? Oh, did Vince McMahon not like what we said? They're trying to hack Adam Carl.
Yeah. Yeah, he refuses to blame himself for being a piece of shit.
I mean, Vince McMahon is notorious for needing scapegoats. Because God forbid Vince blames himself. He'll use other people as fall guys or scapegoats and place the blame on them. But
yeah,
go ahead.
So
yeah,
SmackDown movie to 2 hours. Yeah. But you can tell my excitement is through the roof.
What is your excitement level on a scale of 1 to 10? SmackDown moving back to 2 hours, bro.
-1.
So
what's
apparently,
the difference between a 2-hour SmackDown and a 3-hour SmackDown?
SmackDown is the worst show on television every week. It's not the show length; it's the creative that needs the change. Like, yeah, Triple H is head of creative. He gives the yes and the no, but Bruce Pritchard is still there. Michael Hayes is still there. Ed Koski's still there. Unless you drain the swamp, like everything that was on the Vince administration, everything that was on Vince's team before Vince left, everything that was from then that's on now, that needs to go. And unless you do that and drain the swamp, nothing will change on SmackDown. So as long as people like Bruce Pritchard and Michael Hayes and Ed Koski are still there, nothing will change. Because those three fucking snakes need to go. They all need to go. Every single one of them. There should not be one Team Vince person there. Not one. Because as long as any Team Vince people are there, even at least one there, nothing will change. You know? That like, you want SmackDown to change for the better, that's what you do. The show length is not the problem. It's not. If you don't think it is, open your eyes. And apparently, late June, early July is the target date that's supposed to go back to 2 hours. And apparently, according to Dave Meltzer, take him with a grain of salt, it looks like the rest of the USA Network SmackDown deal, the first half 3-hour SmackDown, second half 2-hour SmackDown, being the case until the USA Network deal with SmackDown's up. All I will say is this. At least I don't have to sit through a dragging third hour. When we don't. Oh, well, I heard a rumor that, the reason for these cuts last week, 20-plus cuts last week, was they're moving SmackDown back to 2 hours. That has nothing to do with it. If you think that has something to do with it, please wake up. That is not the reason.
Bro, they were working. They had a 3-hour show. They had a 3-hour show with a 2-hour roster.
And more people on SmackDown 3 hours, and they didn't even use most of their talent for a 3-hour show. So there's that excuse. Oh, the reason for the cuts last week after WrestleMania was because of the show moving back to 2 hours. No, that's not the reason. That is a lame excuse. A lame-ass excuse. No, that's not the reason why. So I'm not falling for that.
Yeah.
And also, am I the only one that has a fishy feeling at the same time? USA Network loves that third hour. And they're the reason that they wanted SmackDown to be 3 hours for the first half last year and this year. They say late June, early July for a target date to go back to 2 hours for SmackDown for the rest of this year. I don't know. Would you be surprised if USA Network pushes that back to the later part of the year? Would you be surprised if USA Network pushes that back because USA Network can't help themselves that third hour of SmackDown, which probably does better numbers than everything else they have on their platform. Like, what does USA Network have? What, like, nothing but reruns of Chicago PD and 911 and Law and Order SVU? Like, that channel has nothing going for them. If USA Network did not have SmackDown, that USA Network channel is fucking dead. Dead. At that point, you might as well just cancel the USA Network channel. Your thoughts on all this?
Like, what? It's like, bro, like, what's the difference between a 2-hour show and a 3-hour show? Like, it doesn't matter the length of the show. What's important is the creative. SmackDown has been the worst show on wrestling television for months now. Even dating back before they went to 3 hours. Like, what did they have that was so good?
Nothing. Literally nothing.
Literally.
Now, the roster, they have a talented roster, but again, it all comes down to the creative. They have Ricky Saints, they have Blake Monroe, they have Fatal Influence. Do I trust the SmackDown creative team? Fuck no, I don't. I hope I'm wrong, but they have a talented roster to get it done. But again, it all comes down to the creative. They have Blake Monroe, they have Ricky Saints, they have Fatal Influence, including JC Jane, Fallon Henley, Laney Reed. They got Rhea Ripley, who's the new women's champion. They got Damian Priest and R-Truth. They got Cody Rhodes. CM Punk might be headed there, looks like. He wasn't even on Raw this past Monday. Got Randy Orton there, Sami Zayn, Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, Ilya Dragunov, etc., etc. Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss. You know, there is no Julia, Tiffany Stratton, Kiana James. They have the roster. There's no excuse to put on a piss-ass show. There's no fucking excuse whatsoever. They have a talented roster that they can have a good show consistently with SmackDown with the roster they have. If the creative is shit, nothing is going to change. That's what needs to be addressed. No matter how talented the roster is. They have a talented roster that can get it done. It's just the creative team that is dog shit. That's the problem. And until they address the problem, nothing will change. Like look at the roster I just mentioned, even after the releases, and then the call-ups from NXT to SmackDown. Like, remember SmackDown in 2016? Like, look at SmackDown's roster. It's not much. It's light and less, but look at the same kind of a light, less roster SmackDown had 10 years ago when it was SmackDown Live. Remember 2016 SmackDown? They worked with less, and it was 2 hours, though. But they worked with less, and look at how great that show was. You know, they have the roster. They could be something like that, but it all comes down to creative, dude. Like, remember SmackDown Live 2016? They didn't have much. They had, like, who? Like, John Cena, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Usos, Chad Gable and Jason Jordan of American Alpha, Heath Slater and Rhino, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Baron Corbin, Kalisto even, remember him? Apollo Crews. You know, guys like them. Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley of the Hype Bros. Like, they worked with less, and look at how great that show was in 2016. SmackDown's current roster has the potential to be just like that, but then again, it comes down to creative. Your thoughts?
Yeah, that's what's ultimately going to fix SmackDown. It's good creative.
Yes.
Like we say with the 3 hours. Like you have a 3 hour show, but you're working it with a 2 hour roster.
Yeah. I will say this, though.
Doing these releases recently just doesn't help.
No.
Like,
you could have kept Aleister Black.
Doesn't help.
And you released them for what? Ridiculous. We'll talk about that, but I mean, like, though I will say this before we talk about the releases, the main event portion of this episode. I will say this: the show length doesn't help. It's the creative that helps with a terrible SmackDown show. But I would much rather take 2 hours. Like, there is no show that should be 3 hours every single week. Not one. 2, I would much rather take, and 2 is the way to go. 2 hours is just so much easier to watch, and there's less filler with a 2-hour show compared to a 3-hour show. I would much rather take 2 hours than 3 hours. Like, 3 hours is just too damn long, and it's overkill. It's big time overkill. Like, you could dig up Eddie Guerrero out of the grave, and you could also dig up Hulk Hogan out of the grave, God rest their souls, and put them on SmackDown. That would not be enough to save SmackDown.
Literally.
It wouldn't.
You could dig up Andre the Giant from the grave, make him young again, and put him on SmackDown, and it still wouldn't fix the show.
Nope.
You can have all the talent in the world, but you need good creative.
Yeah. And no show should be 3 hours every week. That's why Raw's 2.5 hours every Monday on Netflix, which is a much easier watch. You know, look at Raw on Netflix. They're 2.5 hours. They're not 3 hours. They're 2.5 hours. Look at how easier it is to watch with Raw on Netflix compared to 3 hours with SmackDown. 2 hours is the way to go of a wrestling show. 2.5 is the sweet spot. 3 hours is a no. Though, with the right creative and booking, it can 3-hour show can work, but again, it all is down to the creative. If you have shit creative, it's never going to work. If you have a better creative and you address the problems, then it'll be better off for it. But with the call-ups to SmackDown, we will see what happens. But we then move on to the main event portion of this show as well. And I was going to think about talking about Dynamite last night, but last night was terrible. I'm sorry. That was a waste of time last night watching Dynamite. I'm sure this guy could concur. He had to watch. I had to watch. What'd you think of last night's Dynamite, bro?
It was so boring. It was so putrid.
Yeah, big understatement.
Well, let's look at this card together. We start off the show with the TNT Championship match between MJF and Kevin Knight.
And MJF
let me say this
was
once again. MJF, who was let me say this again, mind you. MJF, who is the former AEW World Champion. He was AEW Champion as even a couple of weeks ago. And here he is challenging for the TNT Championship, and he is losing to Kevin Knight, who is very talented in his own right. But why is MJF losing to Kevin Knight?
And the way he did?
Let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. MJF, he can beat Kenny Omega in a 40-minute match, but not Kevin Knight. He can beat Kenny Omega, he can beat Hangman, he can beat Brody King. Yeah, he can beat Brody King, but not Kevin Knight.
Awful. What else did we had on Dynamite last night?
So they opened the show. Yeah, he loses with a low blow, by the way. He loses with a low blow. And then after the match, he gets attacked by Darby Allin.
Oh, well, MJF's going to win the title back at Double or Nothing from Darby Allin. Well, he should have never lost the thing to Darby a few weeks ago, mind you. An ice-cold Darby. I love Darby, don't get me wrong. But an ice-cold Darby winning the title? Yeah? What? And then the other thing. AEW World Title Open Challenges, right? What is with these wrestling companies, bro? And their open challenges. WWE runs them into the ground. AEW does it. All these wrestling companies do these open challenges, dude. It's lazy booking at its finest. I hate these open challenges, bro. It's uncreative, and it's lazy, and it's a crutch. It's nothing but filler on a show to try and fill up, 20 or 30 minutes on a 2 or 3 hour show. It's lazy and uncreative. It does nothing for a show. Absolutely nothing. And there's no story to it. There's nothing to it. And these open challenges, dude, they need to die 1,000 deaths. Like, we really need to stop these open challenges, bro. It's nothing but a goddamn crutch on a 2 or 3 hour show.
Literally. It's just a time. They're nothing but filler. They bring nothing important to the show.
Like when John Cena did it in 2015, there's a difference with that. John Cena actually made it mean something when John Cena in 2015 was the United States champion, when he did the US Open Challenge. That was different because there was story, and it brought new people to WWE on the main roster, like Kevin Owens, you know, Sami Zayn, guys like them. Like that's different. But then after that, everyone does it. Seth Rollins did it on Raw in 2018 with the Intercontinental title. Now Darby Allin's doing it. Now Obafemi's doing it on Raw. Like, what are we doing? I really wish they'd stop these open challenges, dude. It's nothing but an uncreative crutch because the creative team can't come up with anything else creative. So they have to do that. It's lazy. It's absolutely lazy. And now they're doing it here with Darby Allin with the world title open challenges. And correct me if I'm wrong. And then Darby Allin said, I'm going to defend this title every week until the wheels fall off. Correct me if I'm wrong, bro. Didn't somebody else in AEW used to do that 3 years ago by the name of Orange Cassidy?
Yeah. This is basically the same thing that they did with Orange Cassidy. He defended his international title every week.
Until the wheels
He was going to defend until he couldn't go anymore.
Yep. Rinse and repeat.
Yeah. He did.
Rinse and repeat, bro. Legitimately rinse and repeat. There is nothing creative with this whatsoever. Tells me Tony Khan copied and pasted what Orange Cassidy did to now this time to Darby Allin. A literal copy and paste. There's no creativity to this whatsoever. And it's lame. It's fucking lame. Like Darby Allin beat Tommaso Ciampa last week. This past Wednesday, he beats Brody King. And next week, he's getting Kevin Knight. So you have the TNT champion, Kevin Knight. He's a TNT champion. And he's challenging for the world title next week against Darby Allin. And by the way, next week's Dynamite's a 3-hour block with Dynamite and Collision. Oh, joy. I cannot wait for that, said nobody ever. Like, what are we doing here?
It's just so uncreative. It's not original.
Nope.
It's like you're throwing darts at the wall to see what sticks. Trees, my God, yeah. May as well be.
Yeah. Or I don't know, maybe Tony Khan used AI for this.
Maybe
he did use AI, but Dynamite was a boring fucking show. It was boring. We're not going to waste so much time on that at all.
Like, what else did we get on Dynamite? What a tag team match with the Brawling Birds against some jobbers?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, Roosh faced a jobber.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else did we get? Yeah. What else did we get? Let's read the card together. I'm sure it was so exciting.
Statlander and Sheeta versus the Divine Dominion. Yeah, moving on.
Yeah, guess who won?
Yeah, the Divine
Edge
Dominion.
Christian against. Yeah, we had Edge and Christian against Trent Question Mark and Rocky Romero.
Who?
Yeah. Doc Callis family member number 12 and number 13.
And then we had the international title. Okada beats Ace Austin. Who?
Yeah, a guy who was rarely seen on Dynamite.
A guy who's strictly on Collision.
Yeah, this was the Dynamite card, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and next week we're gonna get Darby Allin versus Kevin Knight. Like, what's gonna happen then? What, MJF is gonna interfere? Is he gonna cost Kevin Knight the win?
Is he gonna attack both Kevin Knight and Darby Allin? We set up Darby and MJF at Double or Nothing that way. If they do that, that is fucking uninspired, unbelievably lazy.
We may as well talk about Collision. Speaking of it, we may as well talk about it.
This is a rare Collision talk about here on Forbidden Podcast, guys.
Yeah, we don't usually do that, but we can't miss out on this. So during the main event of Dynamite, yes, they announced it during the Dynamite between Darby Allin and Brody King, which was an excellent match. I mean, fair enough. They never missed together. Just that the creative is so uninspiring. So they booked Darby. So in the middle of Darby Allin versus Brody King, they announced a TBS championship match for Collision. Willow Nightingale is going to be defending her TBS championship against Anna Jay.
Speaking of that,
I did not dispel.
Yes,
I did not dispel. This isn't a troll. Anna Jay is going to be back on AEW television. How long? We'll find out. She's going to be challenging Willow Nightingale.
Switch the other day with her boyfriend Jack Perry, who, by the way, Jack Perry, let's just say he is not a fan at all of Sean Ross Sapp. And I can't believe, I think he gave fuck Sean Ross Sapp to Jack Perry. I never thought I'd see the day Jack Perry, from the days of Real Glasgow, Crimea River, like throwing shots at CM Punk at All In 2023 at Wembley Stadium in London. From that to now this, man, Jack Perry, is he turning babyface? I mean, I never thought I'd see the day. Seriously. I never thought I'd talk about Jack Perry being my agenda in 2026. Here on Forbidden Podcast on YouTube with FioriousNation. I never, ever thought I'd see the day.
Yeah, what an incredible weekend that Sappy Boy has had. He's got both WWE and AEW talent.
Well, Zelina Vega was saying fuck him, fuck Sean Ross Sapp. Zelina Vega saying fuck Sapp, and now Jack Perry is now chiming in, joining the Zelina Vega party.
Yeah. This is incredible.
Oh, man. But Anna Jay apparently on her Twitch stream with Jack Perry said, like, she brought up Sapp saying all this stuff, so none of it's true. She said the only thing that is true is that my contract's coming up. Now, Anna Jay, tomorrow night on Collision, Saturday Night Collision, is wrestling Willow Nightingale for the TBS title. And no, Anna Jay's not winning. I don't expect her to win at all. She will lose. But what's going to be interesting, does she stay in AEW or does she leave? And is this her last match? Did she sign a new deal? Did injury time get tacked onto her deal? Or is this indeed her last match, like Jade Cargill, putting Statlander over on the way out a couple years ago? I hope this is the latter. What is there for Anna Jay to do in AEW if she stays? You know there's a ceiling on her in AEW if she stays. It's the tag titles, and that's it. She's not winning a TBS title. She's not winning the AEW Women's World title. She factors into no AEW plans whatsoever. What is even the point of staying in AEW if you're Anna Jay? If I'm Anna Jay, honestly, I would make the jump to WWE. She would fit like a glove in NXT. Plus, with NXT losing So Ruka and Fatal Influence to the main roster, they got Lizzie Rain. They're going to need more. You add, like, Anna Jay would fit perfectly on NXT. It would fill a void for losing Blake Monroe and Fatal Influence and So Ruka to Raw and SmackDown. I really hope, and I don't call for anyone to lose a job or whatnot, but, and then this is her not losing her job or getting fired or released. I really hope this is an incident where Anna Jay is putting Willow Nightingale over on the way out, because there's nothing left for Anna Jay to do at AEW. And if I'm Anna Jay, I would seriously make the move and jump ship to WWE. I think she'd do well there. I really do. I really hope this is an instant. And I hope to God injury time is not tacked on to her deal, because I think she got hurt, right? I hope that's not the case, but I really hope this is an instant of her last match in AEW and doing the job on the way out. I really, really do. So I don't know what your take is on this whole thing, bro, but I want to hear your thoughts. The floor is yours.
Yeah, as soon as they announced the match, like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like everything that has come on like these last few days, like it's just so out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then she goes on Twitter and on Twitch, you know, she's denying, you know, she's frustrated or she was upset. Or if she has WWE contacts. Which, I mean, fair enough. I mean, it can be true at the same time. But it's like at the same time, it's just coming out of nowhere, and especially with her deal coming up. You know, it's been very quiet. You know, for these past few, like the last 6 months, you know, it's been so quiet on her deal, and now because, you know, she's back on television, and it's becoming a talking point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and for Sappy Boy to go on and say and claim these reports, and then only to get proven wrong. Yeah. I won't want to be you in that position there, Sappy. I would be very careful the next time I report.
Yeah. Good old Sappy Boy, Sean Ross Sapp.
Yeah, and it's not just Sappy too, not just the Sappy. Her agents. I think we now know who was the ones who leaked her contract info to Sean Ross Sapp. Yeah, it was Anna's agents and representatives, and from what I'm hearing, as we confirmed, she no longer works with said agents, and she's representing herself when discussing a new contract.
Ooh.
So we got not just Sappy, but some dumb agents who clearly don't know what they're doing.
Oh boy. Oh boy. But wasn't Anna Jay's contract supposed to be up maybe like, I don't know, a month ago? Or maybe it is up. Maybe she's trying to keep it more, maybe she's trying to keep it as hush-hush as possible so Tony Khan doesn't extend her deal. Because you know Tony doesn't want her going to WWE. You know that. And she's be better off there. She will, if Anna Jay stays in AEW, she will do nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like, the money's great, but money is not everything.
There's the other thing that will probably make you laugh. Sappy, after everything came out, Sappy Boy, he says that he reached out directly to Anna Jay for confirmation about her deal, and she refused to give him any comments.
Imagine being a journalist in the community and you reach out to a wrestler themselves about contract status in a certain company. Imagine being like that. Like, that is like a whole nother level, bro, of just like, I have no words what to say on that. It's unbelievable to me. And you're supposed to be a journalist, and you reach out to a wrestler, hey, what's your contract status on AEW? What's your contract status on WWE? Unless you work there, it's none of your fucking business. At the end of the day.
There's no self-awareness.
I've never seen a dirt sheet clown with like this that has to reach for desperateness to try and reach out to a wrestler. What's your contract status?
Is he that stupid?
This guy is not paid off by Tony Khan without actually saying he's not paid off by Tony Khan.
Is he so fucking stupid? Like, you are reaching out directly to talent to see whether or not they are renewing or they are leaving. And they are telling you that they will not give you an answer.
Like, what do you expect Anna Jay to tell you? Yeah, my contract's coming up. Yeah, I signed a new deal. What do you want her to tell you? Of course she's not going to tell you what the reality of the situation is.
Stupidity. There's no self-awareness. There's no self-awareness.
None in the wrestling community. This is just as bad as fans following wrestlers for an autograph at a fucking airport or a hotel. Hey, can you sign this? Nope, because you're just going to sell it on eBay for an easy buck. You're just trying to make money off me. You're not a fan. This is just as bad as that.
Hey, Anna, any chance we could get an inside scoop of what your possible move is?
Hey, Jack Perry, you're the boyfriend of Anna Jay. What's her contract status in AEW? What's her next move? And she's dating Jack Perry. Anna Jay's not going to tell Sap shit. You think Jack Perry's going to tell Sap shit? Absolutely not. You really think Anna Jay and Jack Perry are stupid? You really think they're dumb people? They're not.
Oh my God.
This is unbelievable. Unbelievable to me, bro. It really is.
It is laughable. It is laughable.
Would you ever see anyone try and do this to a WWE talent, for example? No, you wouldn't. Imagine a journalist trying to reach out to say, hey, CM Punk, what your contract status is with WWE, or Cody Rhodes, what your contract status is, or Trick Williams, what your contract status is. Would you ever see that? No. This guy, this clown, Sean Ross Sapp, man, truly does amaze me. And I thought he couldn't top himself with taking the cake.
So yeah, in the same week, within a week, he gets blasted by Zelina Vega, and then this week he gets blasted by Jack Perry.
You can't make this up.
Nobody likes you, Sappy. Nobody in both companies like you.
Oh, well, he's not begging for a job. He's doing his job. He's a news reporter. He's a journalist. He's not begging for a job. Really? Then
the job of a journalist is to report stuff and get information. But here's the thing. If you want information, communicate with the talent. Communicate with them.
Oh, well, a news source says this is happening, that's happening. And you have these so-called journalists, quote unquote, they beg for a job, right? They try and know everything within and literally, and I mean trying to know everything within a wrestling company, and they want to have the roster by the ball sack, and they want to know they want to know every single little thing in the company because they want to beg for a job, and they're just there for the money. They don't care about the company, they don't respect them. These are like the fake reactors, yeah? That they're not real fans, and they do the same thing, beg for a job, spread nothing but toxic positivity because they want a job and they don't want to upset the companies. And they don't want to say anything negative or critical when there's something bad, and they say nothing but positivity, and it's just toxicity, and they just beg for a job because they just want a paycheck. And they're at these media scrums that they ask dumb questions. It's like, hey, congratulations on your win. What do we expect for your new title reign? What a stupid question. And at that point, dude, I don't blame the wrestlers, say Roman Reigns, to say, next question. Dude, remember this one Kate from Fightful a couple years ago? Was it Full Gear 2024? Kate from Fightful asked Bobby Lashley a stupid question. Hey, Bobby Lashley, what do you think about coming to a company in AEW that is all for, all black champions? Who cares? Who gives a fuck? And then Lashley put her right in her place. It's I don't like that term black champion. First this, first that. And Lashley put her right in her place. Good. And I think MVP even said, with a dumb question, I thought he said, next question. When you have Bobby Lashley, MVP, and even Roman Reigns at AEW, WWE, respectively, when you have them call out these woke dirt sheets out, and you have them call these woke dirt sheets out on their bullshit, you know that these journalists are something else, man. They want to beg for a job in WWE. They want to beg for a job in AEW. Let me tell you something. These companies owe you nothing. They don't owe you a fucking thing. They owe you zero. Point blank. Like, you really think WWE or AEW needs your ass? They don't.
They do not.
They're just a bunch of marks that think they know everything. They don't. So it's not a good week to be Sap, huh? Rose cooked by Zelina Vega and now cooked by Anna Jay and Jack Perry. You can't make this up. And you do know these dirt sheets try and ruin wrestling to try and leak out spoilers, right? When wrestling should be like a good unpredictable, and these dirt sheets leak everything out. Oh, well, the dirt sheets don't ruin wrestling.
Sure thing.
Yeah, sure thing. You legit can't make this up. Seriously, can't make this up. I really hope Anna Jay, this is her last match in AEW. I do. There's nothing left for her there. If I'm Anna Jay, I'm doing the job and getting out of there. She's not winning the TBS title. She's been off TV since what, November? We're into May. This woman's been off TV for 6 months. 6 months. We got Ricky in the chat. It's not Sap's fault. He's doing what a reporter does. He reported in wrestling. I mean, that I do agree with there, but at the same time,
bad info is still bad. Bad information is still bad information. You're the one who reported it.
Yeah. I mean,
I understand you got a job.
Sap's doing his job. I mean, though I will say this, Fightful is usually reliable. They are. And so I do have to give Sap credit on his job, and he is doing his job, but sometimes he's right. He's not right all the time. That's what we're saying. That's all we're saying here. And then them just trying to beg for a job and stuff like that, that just I'm not okay with. I mean, I respect the man in his work, and he does his job. And he's usually pretty reliable, like, say, releases and make sure this is credible, this is legit. That I have to give him credit for. The only things I don't agree with Sap is trying to be biased, like, because he's more biased with AEW. That I'm not okay with. Like, if you're going to be a journalist, at least be neutral, not favor one company over the other, and just be more honest with that. Like when you favor one company over the other, that's not cool. That's all we're saying here.
Yeah.
Ricky also in the chat. Sap gets paid by WWE to report things. And you mean he's paid by WWE, but mostly AEW.
Trust me when I say this, and WWE is not paying Sean Ross Sapp any dime.
You think they know who a Sean Ross Sapp is?
Yeah. You think Nick Khan and Ari Emanuel and Triple H and Mark Shapiro, they know who a Sean Ross Sapp is?
No.
They don't.
Speaking of whom, do you think Mark Shapiro knows who Adante Chen is? So we might as well talk about this. The releases. 20-plus people lost their jobs last week. A lot of them I'm not surprised with. Some were on TV regularly. Others were very, very head-scratching. But at the People's Wrestling Channel, Ricky, he says, I thought it was only Meltzer that preferred AEW over WWE. Well, he does. That he does. I mean, you just look at Meltzer. And Meltzer can be a mixed bag, so. But the main talk here on this episode, these releases, I have the names that were released last week before and during SmackDown a week ago. Now, I don't know if there's going to be any more releases with this. I hope not. Rumor going around there may be more. I hope that's not the case. Maybe it's just like corporate, like office people. Hopefully not talent. But these are the names I have that were released last week. Now, some of these were very head-scratching. A lot of them I'm not surprised and didn't do much of anything. Others were on TV regularly, and I don't understand some of these releases. I don't. And some of them should still be there in the company right now. Oh, we'll go over these names. Might as well start with the NXT people first. Now, there was another one additional, Carly Bright. Apparently, she was on Evolve. She announced on Instagram that she was leaving. I don't know if it was like, maybe some of these have like, maybe their contracts weren't being renewed or just outright released. Some have a 90-day no-compete. Something like that. Ricky says, Cody should be released for being the king of boring. I don't know if I'd say that, but I respect your opinion on that. I mean, I don't know if I'd call him boring, though. I wouldn't. But that's just me. But back to Carly Bright. She announced on her Instagram that she was leaving WWE, that she was gone. No longer with WWE. So, Carly Bright gone. Now, these are the NXT Evolve LFG Performance Center names that were cut. Carly Bright, like I mentioned. Serena Linton, who I've never even heard of. Chris Island, another guy. Like, what is with these names, Chris Island? I didn't even know this guy would even existed. Trill London, same thing. Didn't even know the guy was even existing on the roster. Malik Blade, Luca Cristofino, who's with the Tony D'Angelo family. I was not high on him at all. Dante Chen, Andre Chase. Let's be real, had a ceiling on NXT. Let's be real. And then they split up Duke Hudson and Ridge Holland from him. That was the beginning and the end for Andre Chase, honestly. Let's be real here. Tyra May Steele, who won LFG Season 1, I believe, and she's cut, which is kind of head-scratching to me. And then others from NXT cut. High rises, Tyson DuPont and Tyreek Igwe. Who? Remember them? They were with Wesley with High Rise. Remember those two buffoons? Those two jabronis who couldn't wrestle? Those are the NXT portion of the cuts. And before we talk about the main roster cuts, what do you think? What are your thoughts on these NXT cuts?
I mean, I understand. I mean, I feel bad for the people who lost their jobs, obviously. It's like, what were they doing?
Nothing.
Like, were they progressing enough, like in the ring or as characters?
And it looks like some of the PC athletes weren't progressing fast enough or weren't getting better. So that all comes down, if you're in the PC or a new talent athlete, you're in the PC, you're not getting better. Guess what? You're going to be on the chopping block.
Yeah.
Ricky in the chat, does Tyson and Tyreek go and join Wesley in AEW? God, I hope not.
No.
Fuck that.
No.
That should not even be a thought. I hope to God no. Please no. It was terrible in WWE and NXT. You think it would be better in AEW? Please. I don't want to see that at all. And they were not good to begin with. Like those two, DuPont and Igwe, let's call a spade, bro. They had a ceiling. Their ceiling was NXT. They would have gone absolutely nowheres on the main roster. I'm telling you right now. They both had a very, very small ceiling. Two one-trick ponies. They were big and couldn't wrestle out of a paper bag to save their lives. They were terrible. DuPont and Igwe. Like this is an instant where you trim fat and cut your dead weight. These are now I don't call for anybody to lose their jobs, but High Rise, DuPont, and Igwe sucked. They were bad. These releases I do agree with, like cut your dead weight. Like seriously. Like you have the Vanity Project, who's a lot better of a tag team on NXT. What's even the point of having High Rise? It's just dead weight. You know? Like, are you going to lose sleep over High Rise gone from WWE? Because I know I'm not. You won't even realize they're not there.
No. If anything, Wesley is better off without them.
Who else we had? Dante Chen.
He's better off without them.
Yeah. Dante Chen. I remember him in 2.0. Maybe a talented wrestler, but he had no character. None. I didn't see much of anything in him. Luca Cristofino. As soon as they ended the D'Angelo family, that was it for Cristofino. Like, you really thought he was going to go somewhere as a singles guy? I didn't.
No.
Tony D'Angelo was clearly the star of that D'Angelo faction at NXT. I'm surprised Stax Lorenzo survived the cuts, honestly.
Yeah. Stax Lorenzo. Like, a lot of people, not just NXT, but on the main roster, too. Like, Stax Lorenzo. Akira Tozawa.
I'm surprised Otis survived. And then Ricky says, how did Nikita Lyons and Joaquin Wilde survive the cut? Yeah, I was shocked Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro weren't part of the cuts. I was very shocked, and especially Tozawa.
Like, literally. Like, again, we don't wish for people to...
How do you release Aleister Black and keep fucking Kit Wilson? Kit Wilson sucks. I mean, he is trash. Oh, but he's viral.
Again, we don't wish...
I mean, the music is over, not fucking Kit Wilson.
I mean, again, we don't wish for people to lose their jobs, obviously. But, like, what do they offer to television?
Nothing. Kit Wilson, honestly, is lucky to still have a job. They should have released Kit Wilson last week, not Aleister Black.
Like people like Tozawa, like people like Otis. And Cruz del Toro. Like, what do they offer to television? Like, are they that important? We gotta keep them?
I'm even surprised the War Raiders survived the cuts too. That's another one. And Maxine Dupree, I'm surprised she survived the cuts too. Then Ricky says, I guess you need people to job out on main event. Probably, but what does Kit Wilson add to the product? Nothing. You could have kept Aleister Black and got rid of Kit Wilson. Kit Wilson's lucky to still have a job.
Yes. Yeah, jobbing on main event because beating Stax Lorenzo is so big for Josh Briggs. It's going to elevate them to the next level.
Or Josh Briggs, who I'm also surprised still has a job. Josh Briggs.
Maybe Titus, he didn't want to lose most of his VIPs. Maybe.
We'll get to that in a little bit, but Serena, Linton, Chris Island, Trill London, all part of LFG. I don't watch LFG. I didn't even know these ones existed. And one of these names, Chris Island. What is with these names, Chris Island? Who gets over with a name Chris Island? It's not like John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Braun Breaker, Chris Island. Like, what? Like, are you really going to go far with a name like Chris Island, bro?
No.
Ricky in the chat. Kit Wilson was just at Mania. They were never going to get rid of him. But the thing is, Kit Wilson has a small ceiling. He will go nowheres. I'm telling you right now. They should have never released Aleister Black. You should have kept him and let go of Kit Wilson. Like, what's Kit Wilson going to do on WWE television that is going to be generating interest? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like, he's teaming with The Miz.
He goes viral, bro.
He's teaming with Miz, yeah, because that's exactly what I want to see on my television. The fucking Miz and Kit Wilson.
Yeah, this guy was getting it better. Both of these guys were being embarrassed at WrestleMania by midgets.
Danhausen midgets and embarrassed by Danhausen. They're both punched in the fucking nutsack by the Danhausen midgets and Danhausen. And then, the one of them was The Miz carried out by Danhausen midgets. Oh, but The Miz is awesome. Yeah, he's so awesome. He's being carried out by little Danhausen midgets, and you want me to sit here and say The Miz is awesome, right?
We're supposed to take him seriously.
Oh, but Kit Wilson yells toxic, toxic, toxic. Yeah, it's toxic that you're on TV, Mr. Kit Wilson.
I mean, nothing against him personally as a human being,
right?
I'm hoping that Elton Prince is doing well in his recovery.
Yeah,
but it's like, again, like, what do they all? But like, what are they doing on television that is so great? Like, what value do they bring to television apart from being comedy goofballs?
And that's the last thing we need: comedy goofs. But Serena Linton, Chris Island, Joe London. I mean, you're not going to lose sleep over that, them being gone. Carly Bright was talented. I mean, wasn't she teaming with Kendall Gray for a little bit on Evolve before Kendall Gray really grew?
I think.
Carly Bright, I mean, surprise and not surprise. I mean, good talent that didn't develop much of a character yet. I mean, could she have been something? Do I think they should have given her more of a chance? Yes, but I don't know if she still wants to wrestle, what she wants to do. I don't know, maybe if she wants to continue wrestling, maybe she goes to the indies, reinvent herself, and WWE brings her back later on down the line. I think she's still young, right?
Yeah.
So if she wants to still work wrestling, maybe work the indies, something like that. Maybe somebody else, maybe somebody MLW could pick her up if she wants to continue wrestling, something like that. Malik Blade. Now, I remember him. He teamed with Adrius Enofi in NXT during the 2.0 era. He was all right, but he had no character. He didn't really have a character, so... And that's the other thing. You need to be good in the ring and have character. If you're good in the ring and don't have a character, you're not going to go far. And WWE looks for in-ring, but mostly a personality, a promo character that can relate. And if you don't have mostly character, you're not going to go far. I feel Malik Blade was a decent talented wrestler, but he also had a ceiling in NXT. He had no character, and he wasn't going to go far with what he had. It was just vanilla, just there. So I'm not surprised by his cut. I don't know where he goes, but I don't know if he works local indies. I don't know. What do you think of this? And the same thing with people like Dante Chen, Luca Cristofino, guys like them, Andre Chase.
I mean, it's their choice at the end of the day. I mean, I hope they find success wherever they go.
Yeah. Luca Cristofino, as soon as they ended the D'Angelo family, that was the end. That was the end for Cristofino. He was better in the D'Angelo family and a team or group. He was going to go nowheres on his own. Like, it was clear as day Tony D was the star of that team. It was clear as day. And you look where Tony D is at now as the NXT champion. Look at Stax Lorenzo in the Birthright group. You see what he's doing in there. Like, Cristofino, they had the D'Angelo feud. It was all right. But then after that, what are they going to do with Cristofino? Nothing. So I'm not surprised by this cut. Though maybe he goes to, if he wants to continue wrestling, I say like MLW is probably a nice landing spot for him. Maybe TNA. I don't know. What do you think of this?
Maybe. I could see him at either company.
Yeah. There was one of the NXT cuts head scratching to me. Tyra May Steele. She won LFG season 1. Now, she was an Olympic gold medalist. Very good. Very, very talented. I'm surprised they let her go.
Yeah, wasn't she at the SummerSlam 2021?
Yes. Yeah, she was.
Yeah, so I'm kind of surprised that she was let go. Maybe she wasn't progressing.
I have no idea. I mean, I don't work there. We'll never know, but Ricky also says, I watch LFG, but then I watch all of WWE shows, assuming like Evolve as well. Bruce Harper says, hi, Nick. Nick, hope you're doing good. Thank you, Bruce. What's up, bro? Hope you're doing good as well. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing good as well. Make sure you like the video as well. Share out the stream. Then Ricky back in the chat says, that stuff with Miz and Danhausen last week was comedy gold. You mean on the SmackDown after Mania or the WrestleMania? The one at WrestleMania Night 2 was hilarious to me. I'm not sure about the SmackDown after Mania.
Yeah, they had that Danhausen cursing the Miz's house.
Yes.
I would say that was funny too.
With Maurice involved, the Miz's wife.
Yeah, the Miz, man, what a terrible husband. He's putting his wife in harm's way.
But he loves his wife. He has big balls, does the Miz. You mean he has tiny balls? I could tell Adam Carl what he's thinking of this.
Yeah, big balls. Yeah, no, he has tiny balls. How do you put your wife in harm's way? All because you hate a man. Why? Because he's doing a sign, a taunt saying you are cursed, and you are using your wife to try to get back at him.
Oh, jeez.
That is a toxic relationship. There's the word, the toxic.
Oh, but the Miz is a former WWE champion. WrestleMania main eventer beat John Cena. Yeah, and here he is at WrestleMania being embarrassed by Danhausen and Danhausen midgets, and you want me to believe this guy is awesome. Oh, but he's been there 20 years. Yeah, he's been there 20 years and he's still there. Honestly, the Miz is a lifer.
And here he is. A 20-year veteran, and here he is being embarrassed by Danhausen.
Honestly, bro, the Miz is a lifer.
Too. I mean, in all fairness, I mean, all the laughs aside, the jokes, I mean, he's there to put people over.
Yeah.
Basically, his role. He's going to be on the Hall of Fame. He's going to have a job for life. And the segments are hilarious with him at Danhausen. He's doing his part well.
You know what I'd love to see Miz do after he's done wrestling? Go to commentary. I think that would fit him perfectly. He may be a better commentator than he is a wrestler at this point. I think as a wrestler, the Miz is well past his expiration date. If you put Miz on the commentary team, I think that would work out very, very well for him, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel, because the Miz, to me, and I'm not the only one saying this, I'm sure a lot of people would say the same thing. The Miz has always been a very good promo and comes to mic work. The guy has always known his character and promo work. Like he gets it. His mic work is perfect. Like he knows his promo stuff perfectly. Like he's always been a very good talker. As a wrestler, he's well past his expiration date. If the Miz transitioned from wrestler to commentary, I actually probably wouldn't mind Miz much at all. The Miz much at all.
Or even like maybe as an ambassador for the company.
Yes.
Maybe even an ambassador.
And maybe work as a backstage agent, maybe work on the creative team or something.
Yeah, that'll be a good role for him.
Rick even says, Miz is one of those guys that doesn't mind making a joke of himself and always says yes, that's why he's been there so long. Well, yeah, like a model employee. Like
he's a professional. I mean, say what we will about him. We can say what we will about him as a wrestler, but like he's a good professional. He's a good guy.
Yeah. And even the early days when he was kicked out of the locker room in 2006, when he started on the main roster, he was on SmackDown. He was kicked out of the locker room for like good 6-7 months for eating chicken. And he was forced to change in the bathrooms where the wrestling fans would use the bathrooms. He wasn't allowed to change in the locker room for like 6-7 months until Undertaker got him back in the locker room. Remember that story? The Miz was eating chicken and he was kicked out. He was getting blamed. He was being blamed for getting chicken crumbs all over a referee's bag. And then he was kicked out of the locker room, and then he had to go change in tiny little hallways. He had to go change in the janitor closets and the custodial rooms. He had to go, and when he had to use the bathroom, he had to use the bathroom where the wrestling fans would use the bathrooms near the concession stands, near all these, and you see a little kid, hey, Dad, I just saw the Miz go in the bathroom. Okay, son, wait out here and wait for him to come out, and we'll get his autograph for you. And then everybody is around the concession stands. Hey, everybody, Miz is in the bathroom, and everyone's like waiting outside his bathroom still to get an autograph when he's trying to change into his ring gear for a match coming up soon.
Terrible.
I mean, it had to. I can imagine it was so humiliating for the Miz, but I'm not a big Miz fan, but I gotta give the guy credit. What happened to him when he first started 20 years ago in 06? Like, he could have easily said, you know what? I'm broken. I had enough. I quit. But he didn't quit, and he just took it. And I got to give him a lot of credit with the bullshit he went through 20 years ago. Because he could have easily quit. He could have easily got up and quit.
That's the mentality of winners. They never quit.
I don't think a lot of people, honestly, dude, could have handled it the way that he handled it. Again, this guy could have easily got up and say, you know what, I've had enough. I quit. But he didn't do it. He just took it. And, yeah, let's just say the guy who kicked him out, the same guy murdered his family in June 07. Benoit kicked him out. Yes, this is true. Benoit kicked him out, threw his bag out. All because Miz was eating chicken in the locker room. He was just a rookie. Called up in developmental to SmackDown in 06. He was just a rookie.
All because he was hungry.
Yeah. I mean, was the Miz young? Did he have a lot to learn? Yes, but at least cut the guy some slack at the same time. Then apparently Undertaker, after 6-7 months being kicked out of the locker room, Undertaker got Miz back in the locker room, apparently. And Undertaker wasn't the one that kicked him out, but he got him back in. I think this was after Benoit passed that Undertaker got Miz back in.
Yeah.
And Undertaker, like, he didn't even know what happened. And Miz told him what happened. And Undertaker said, Miz, you're coming back in the locker room again. You're allowed to change with the boys again in the locker room. So, but back to the releases, Luca Cristofino, Ricky says about him, they tried to reinvent Luca Cristofino on Evolve, but it was meh. Yeah, I remember that, and it went nowhere. Like, that was like a last
clearly, whatever they were trying to do with him wasn't working. Clearly, whatever they were trying to do with it was dumb.
Yeah. He may have had a great look, but he couldn't cut it in the ring. Let's be real. He was boring. He did nothing for me. Honestly. Andre Chase. You said it to me the other day, right? As soon as they ended Chase U with Ridge Holland and Duke Hudson and Andre Chase and Bodie Hayward, Thea Hale, as soon as they ended the Chase U thing and Ridge Holland ended Chase U, that was the beginning of the end for Andre Chase. Now, he did have a cool gimmick with the Chase U. Give me a C, give me an H, give me an A, give me an S, give me an E, give me a U. What does that spell? Chase U. Now, that was entertaining while it was, but I think they had a very small ceiling if you broke up the group. Now, I was surprised I was upset they didn't keep the group, and they could have called them up to, say, SmackDown a couple years ago. But NXT, I don't know what they were smoking, what Shawn Michaels was smoking, but they ended and broke up Chase U. Remember when Ridge Holland quit Chase U and turned heel? And didn't he beat, like, who? Duke Hudson or Andre Chase at Halloween Havoc a couple years ago, some kind of stretcher match where if Ridge Holland won, Chase U would be over. Yeah, worst thing that could have ever happened. And then it was all downhill for Andre Chase after that. It was never going to be the same after that. No, Andre Chase is gone. What do you think of this?
I mean, it's unfortunate. Again, there's the word here. It's unfortunate for him, but I'm not surprised. Like there was nothing they could have. Like there was nothing he could have done after Chase U. Like it was that was pretty much the beginning of the end for him.
Yeah.
Like, and once you have nothing for somebody like that for months and months and months, like, you may as well let them go. I mean, I'm sad for him, but honestly, it's one of those releases I get.
Yeah. Ricky in the chat, speaking of Thea, do you remember that video she did a few months ago talking about online hate? Yeah, I remember that. She quit social media a while ago. Yeah, I remember that, man. That was terrible. That was terrible. I think she like took down her X page, which I don't blame her because social media is so fucking toxic. But
well, that's
Andre
wrestling
Chase,
fans for you, being a bunch of buffoons.
Yeah, being weirdos. But Andre Chase is gone. I don't know where he ends up if he wants to continue wrestling. Maybe I could see MLW. Like some of these NXT releases, I could see maybe MLW if they want to continue wrestling. But actually, no. Luca Cristofino announced his retirement from wrestling, so he's done wrestling. He was a guy, honestly, I didn't see much of anything. And you can tell watching a wrestler on TV whether they care or don't care. I'm not sure if Cristofino really cared about getting better in the ring. He wasn't that good to begin with. He was just big, just tall, just there. Like there was nothing to him. Like you can tell when a guy wants to get better or a girl wants to get better in wrestling and who doesn't. I don't know about you. Maybe Cristofino didn't care. And maybe that's why he retired from wrestling altogether as soon as he was let go. And I remember
I don't know if I will say he didn't care. I don't know if I will say he didn't.
But maybe remember the releases last year and before Matt Cardona came back to WWE? There was a tweet he put out early May of last year. You have one of three options. One, fade into obscurity like Cristofino did, his choice. 2, live off your name. Or 3, reinvent yourself, kill it on the indies, and then later on, after X amount of years away, at least a couple years away, WWE is on the phone with you again. They bring you back, and you're a lot better off for it. You know, and that's what we're going to talk about soon with actually right now with the main roster releases. But Cristofino chose option 1, but Matt Cardona even quote tweeted his own tweet last year to last week. Choose option 3. That's the best option. Because look at Matt Cardona. Now, he's been back for a couple months. He hasn't done much of anything on SmackDown, but then again, SmackDown's the worst show on TV. But look what Matt Cardona did on the indies. He was released in 2020 from WWE after being there for 15 years. 6 years on the 5 years, 6 years on the indies. Now he's back, you know. But I would say that I'm sure you could attest to that.
Yeah, I can attest.
I would say that not just the NXT releases. I would say with the main roster releases too. If you really want, like when you're a wrestler, your dream is to make it to WWE. That's the big league company, right? Or make it in wrestling, make it to WrestleMania, right? Like that's your goal, your big, big dream. If the dream is to still be in big time wrestling, go to the indies, reinvent yourself. And then after a certain amount of time away, at least a couple years, at least away, WWE will be calling you, want you back. You come back and you're better off for it. Dude, look at Parker Boudreaux. He was Harland on 2.0 NXT. 4 years ago, they let him go. And like how, like a lot of these people that were released last week, a lot of them were not even given a chance. Parker Boudreaux, the same thing, wasn't even given a chance, and they let him go 4 years ago. I remember, I think we watched NXT 4 years ago. The last time we saw Parker Boudreaux on NXT TV, he was holding the NXT title high during a Braun Breaker Joe Gacy NXT feud. And then after that, he's just let go. Like, huh? Like, that didn't make any sense to me. And Parker Boudreaux in NXT could have been something. And now look at him on the indies. He's killing it. And I would not be surprised. I honestly, I could see him back in WWE one day. And a lot of these people, some good portion of these people released last week, I could probably see back. You know, even ones last year, Dakota Kai. She was interviewed not long ago by Chris Van Vliet. I think she said she's open one day to a WWE return when the time's right. Dakota Kai, aka Charlie on the indies. Baron Corbin released 2 years ago. I could see him come back when the time's right. Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler. Look at what he's doing in TNA. Is he not a bigger star now than he was then? He absolutely is. You know what I'm saying? Indy Hartwell, TNA.
Getting released is not the end of the world. You just getting released is not the end of the world. You just have to make the best out of what you got.
It's not a goodbye forever to see you later. It really is. Just because you get released, it's not over. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, Like, your career's not over. It's not over just because you get released, you know? And even like Indy Hartwell, she's killing it in TNA. Steph DeLander, she was Persia Perota in NXT 2.0. Look at what she's doing in TNA, dude. She's killing it. You know? Mustafa Ali's another guy killing it in TNA, released by WWE. He's another one. You know? And Ricky even brought this up. I use him and Cody as perfect examples. Just because you get let go by WWE doesn't mean your career's over and you can't come back later on down the line. Drew McIntyre, a great instance of rebuilding yourself. Drew McIntyre, 1,000% agree. Drew McIntyre in 2014, June was released. The guy was in 3MB. Remember them with Jinder Mahal and Heath Slater? It sucked to see Drew go. I didn't want him to go. It was terrible to see him let go and lose his job. But you know what? Him letting let go was a blessing for him. It was the best thing for him. You know, went to TNA, went to the UK and the Indies. He fucking killed it. Became TNA World Champion. Then after 3 years away, he came back. And now he's one of their top guys in the company, and he's a lot better off for it. Cody Rhodes. He was Stardust. Remember Stardust?
Awful.
And after Dusty Rhodes, Cody Rhodes' father, and then in June 2015, Dusty Rhodes, Cody Rhodes' father, he passed away at 69. And after his father passed, Cody didn't want to be Stardust anymore. He wanted to be Cody Rhodes again, but Vince McMahon told him no and wanted to keep him hostage in the Stardust character. Then May 2016, at that point, Cody Rhodes knew he had to leave, and in May 2016, he left. He wasn't released, but he left. Whether you're released or leave or quit doesn't matter. You're gone from a WWE company. In May 2016, Cody Rhodes leaves the WWE, goes to the Indies, and he bets on himself. He makes himself into a bigger star than he ever was in WWE this first run there, and he makes himself a very nice payday, becomes a big name for himself on the Indies, becomes a talk of the town, and makes himself into a big megastar. And he helped create AEW, became an EVP for AEW, met Kenny Omega, met the Young Bucks, met Marty Scurll and Hangman Adam Page in this time in Ring of Honor, New Japan. He was a big staple in AEW in the first 3 peak years of AEW. Like, he was pretty much, if you ask me, Cody Rhodes was pretty much the heart and soul of AEW. Like, he was pretty much their guy. Like, he was pretty much AEW. And AEW has not really been the same since Cody Rhodes left 4 years ago. Like, even during the pandemic, Cody was like pretty much their guy, their number one guy. And then Cody Rhodes came back to WWE 4 years ago. And look at him now. He's the face of the company next to Roman Reigns. And he's so much better off for it. Just because you get released, I would say a lot of these talent that get cut, if they want to reinvent themselves in the Indies, I'd say a good chunk of them should probably take the Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre route. Just because you get released, it's not over. Reinvent yourself. And then later on down the line, you could always come back, you know, and at some point, they all do come back. Like Hulk Hogan came back. Ultimate Warrior came back. You know, Rey Mysterio in 2018 came back. Kurt Angle came back. Jeff Hardy came back. Matt Hardy came back. Chris Jericho came back in 07. Big Show, Christian in 08 and 09 respectively. They came back. Just because you get released doesn't mean it's not necessarily like it sucks to see them lose their job. And I hate seeing people lose their job, and it's sad. It's upsetting and depressing. But just because you get released, use this as a fire and motivation. Just because you get released, don't look at it as all bad thing. It's not over. And a lot of these releases will be just fine. I'm sure you say the same exact thing, bro. Like people like Kairi Sane, Aleister Black, Kaylee Ray. Later on down the line, I could see them come back, and time does heal all wounds, you know. Like, it's like later on down the line, Aleister Black, Kaylee Ray, Kairi Sane, in my opinion, later on down the line, I could probably see him come back. Like Kaylee Ray, Fire who got cut. She's what, 30 years old? She's still very young. You know, I think she even teased the match with Dakota Kai in the Indies. I'm for that. You know,
why not?
Kairi Sane,
I wouldn't mind it.
We want Kairi chance, and that's not going away. It's not. We'll talk about that. Aleister Black, he had unfinished business. Like, they were not even given the chance, and a lot of unfinished business with some chunk of these people that were released last week. I could see some of these people, some of these releases come back over time. You know? You say the same thing, yeah? Because I know I'm not the only one, and I have Adam Carl to attest to this.
Just because you get released doesn't mean your career is over. If it just one chapter closes, one ends. One ends, absolutely. Another one opens. One chapter starts.
It's not the end.
Yeah. And there are other promotions out there to work with.
Like Aleister Black, I don't know about him in AEW because I don't trust AEW at all. I mean, if I'm Aleister Black, you know what I do? I look, even Karrion Kross and Scarlett, they're killing it on the indies, even in ACW. Karrion Kross is ACW World Champion. He's killing it. Is Karrion Kross. Andrade, AEW, ACW, same thing. Karrion Kross. I could see him back one day later on when the time's right, when time heals all wounds. I could see that. You know, he's killing it on the indies. You know, Aleister Black, I'm sure would kill it on the indies. I don't want him in AEW, though. I would love to see Aleister Black and Zelina Vega and a place where Vega is no stranger to, TNA. Especially if they're going to lose Mike Santana and Leon Slater. And if TNA is going to lose those guys to WWE, TNA is going to need somebody to fill that Mike Santana spot. Aleister Black, dude, would fit perfect for that, in my opinion.
For real, and TNA could use some talent.
Yeah, and then the Hardys, who's you know they're going straight to WWE as soon as their time in TNA is done. You know that, so they're going to need so TNA's roster is going to need bolstering and replenishing. They're going to need it. Hell, why not Wyatt Six in TNA? I'd love to see that because they're not going to go anywhere in AEW. I can tell you that. Motor City Machine Guns, I know their likely landing spot is in AEW, but apparently TNA, there's always a home for them. I think they're better off in TNA. AEW, they're not going to do a damn thing with them. Yeah, great match with the Bucks and FTR and AEW all in Wembley, but after that, they're not going to do a damn thing with Shelley and Sabin. I can tell you that. Hell, Kaylee Ray, TNA, get a thumbs up from me. I could see her in AEW though, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, Aleister Black and Zelina Vega, I think, in my opinion, would be perfect for TNA. They're not going to do anything in AEW. And if you want Black and Vega to reinvent themselves and make WWE regret letting them go, why not Black and Vega to TNA? Kill it there. And there is the partnership. Like, if there's, like, I'm sure some of the, I may not feel it now, but a while after that, I'm sure some of these releases, a good chunk of them that were released last week, I'm sure at least a good chunk of them are thinking, you know, we want like at least a good some chunk of them may have a goal of coming back to WWE, probably, you know. And if that's a goal of theirs, there's the partnership with WWE and TNA is going to need help by losing Santana and Slater and maybe the Hardys, but you catch my drift. If their goal is to make it back to WWE, I think TNA is the way to go. I'd love to see Aleister Black and Zelina Vega in TNA. And Vega is no stranger to the Knockouts division. She used to be in TNA in the Knockouts division. I think the 2000s TNA, I think the Knockouts tag division, I think she was in there. So she's no stranger to TNA. So, and also Kaylee Ray, love to see in TNA.
Champions in TNA?
Yes. Wasn't she Sarita or some name like that? I think Rosita.
Yeah.
Something like that.
She was teaming up with Sarita.
Yes. So you could easily slot her in the Knockouts division or Knockouts tag division. I'd love to see it. Plus, I think they just lost Danny Luna. Vega would be a nice addition to TNA. Cora Jade is Elena Black is doing nice for herself in TNA. I mean, I could see her back in WWE one day too, Elena Black / Cora Jade. She was also not given a chance last year. You know what I mean? But yeah, these main roster cuts. Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin cut by WWE last week. I'm not surprised because they didn't do anything with them. They won the tag titles 1 week into the company late 2024. Then they lose the titles at DIY. Then they're part of the really good SmackDown tag division most of 2025 last year. Then after that, it went down from them. It went down from there for them. Like they were teasing a split, which that would have been dumb. They had this thing with Johnny and Candice with the guns. What did you think of this release? I didn't want it to happen, but I'm not surprised by it.
Yeah, like they were not doing much with them, honestly. Honestly, after SummerSlam, after that TLC match, they kind of didn't do anything. No. Like they kind of looked lost.
Yeah. And then the Wyatt Six, all 5 members of the Wyatt Six let go. They'll before that, the Motor City Machine Guns, they'll be fine though. Either TNA or AEW for them. I think AEW though, but I would say TNA, but I could see AEW. I would not be surprised if that's the case. But yeah. All 5 members of Wyatt Six, Uncle Howdy, Eric Rowan, Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy, Nikki Cross, all released last week. When they lost to the MFTs on the SmackDown before Mania, something was off. Like he probably just knew they were going to be gone. Wyatt Six. And disrespectful to Bray Wyatt's legacy. And I heard a rumor, bro. There's someone has to be in TKO that, listen to this. Someone apparently in TKO hates spooky characters.
What was so spooky or
someone in that company is trying to destroy that company from within. Yet you want Vince McMahon back. Yeah, this is the man who sold the company to his friend Ari Emanuel, a guy who knows nothing about wrestling, soulless fucking faceless suits on the TKO board who know fuck all about wrestling. Yet you want Vince back.
But what was so supernatural and so spooky about the Wyatt Six? Like seriously.
Whoever thought spooky characters are like apparently someone in TKO thinks like someone on the TKO board, it looks like, hates spooky characters and was a key reason why they got let go. Whoever that person is on the TKO board, get them the fuck out. Get them out. Because they don't know shit about wrestling.
These kinds of characters can be hit or miss.
Yeah, that too.
It's 2026. Who really wants to see a supernatural character?
Honestly, with the Wyatt Six, they should have been more humanized. If you do a spooky character these days, it doesn't work.
Yeah. It's like, what was so spooky about the Wyatt Six? What, their entrance? Like, what was it? So ridiculous.
Yeah. Now, I think Bo Dallas, though, may be done wrestling, I think, at this point. He's not any younger. I would say he's probably done wrestling. I don't know if he goes to AEW, TNA, if he wants to retire from wrestling, maybe be an ambassador. I don't know. But Uncle Howdy gone. I think he'll be okay, I think. He'll be fine. Same thing with Joe.
I think every one of them are going to be okay ultimately.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen this.
And Gacy Lumis.
Dexter Lumis, speaking of whom, social media not long ago, he posted something about late July this year. He's a free agent because I think if it's released from main roster, it's a 90-day no compete. But if it's NXT, it's a 30-day no compete for NXT. Dexter Lumis. Remember Index from NXT Black and Gold, Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis? I could absolutely see Dexter Lumis in TNA. He was Samuel Shaw in TNA too. I could see him in TNA with Indy Hartwell. And he was like he's in cutting your hair or something like that. It was Dexter Lumis. He'll be okay. Uncle Howdy Bo Dallas, I'm sure he'll be fine. Eric Rowan, yes, he'll be fine. Joe Gacy, he'll be okay. I could probably see him in TNA too. Nikki Cross, apparently she trademarked Nikki Storm in Best of the Galaxy. She'll be fine too. But I don't agree with this release at all, though. And disrespecting Bray's legacy. Someone on that TKO board doesn't hate. Clearly, someone on the TKO board doesn't know anything of wrestling and hates Bray Wyatt and his legacy. Whoever that is, get them out. You need to drain the fucking swamp. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Mark Shapiro, honestly, or Ari Emanuel. That would not surprise me.
None whatsoever.
The White Six will be fine, though, I will say. And, looking over these lists of released people, a lot of them, the main roster-wise, a lot of these main roster cuts were SmackDown people. Like 2 Raw people or something like that. That's it. The rest, all SmackDown people. So you fire half your SmackDown roster, bring in 5 NXT call-ups to SmackDown. Oh, well, the reason for the cuts is for SmackDown going back to 2 hours. Bullshit. I don't believe that at all. That is a lame excuse. I don't fall for that at all. I don't.
Bro, you already had a 2-hour roster already.
Yeah.
Like, what do these people get?
Ricky says in the chat, after the Wyatts return where they killed Chad Gable. Yeah, 2 years ago. Remember that? That was perfect. And then it's just, after that, just a year later, it just didn't work. But it's like, if you don't use spooky characters right, it doesn't work. That's what these TKO boards don't. That's what these TKO board people just don't fucking get. They don't get it. They don't. But the White Six are gone. All 5 members of the White Six, they will be fine, though. I would say if I was a betting man, I would say a likely landing spot. I would not be shocked if they go to AEW, but I think they're better off in, like, say, TNA. I really do. They could be big fishes.
I think at least Sam Shaw.
Yes.
I think Sam Shaw, at least Dexter Loomis, I think he goes to TNA. You can reunite him and Indy Hartwell.
Yes. And with the TNA,
Joe Gacy maybe goes on to the Indies.
Yeah, Indies, yeah.
Yeah, Joe Gacy, Nikki Storm, Eric Rowan. Maybe they go to the Indies.
Yeah. Some of them I love to see in ACW, Awesome Championship Wrestling. I could see it one day. I'd love to see that. Could you imagine Aleister Black in ACW? I'd love to see that. In fact, if it happens, Awesome Championship Wrestling in Poughkeepsie, New York. Shout out to them.
Maybe we get to Aleister Black
versus Scary. What? Someone. I know what happened to Adam Carl there. Mentioned carrying Cross.
I don't know what was going on. Maybe you can get Cross versus Black. You never know.
Cross versus Black in ACW at an ACW Poughkeepsie show for the ACW title. Sign me up. Seriously, sign me up. Maybe they have it in like later part of the year. I would love to see that, man. Love to see it. So we'll see, but yeah, Dexter Loomis, TNA, no doubt. Joe Gacy, Indies, Nikki Storm, Nikki Cross, either TNA or AEW. Eric Rowan, probably TNA. Uncle Howdy, AEW, TNA. I would say TNA. I would say the White Six are better off in TNA. They could be big fishes in a small TNA pond. Whereas if they go to AEW, maybe hot the first couple weeks, but then they're going to get lost in the shuffle. And Tony Khan is an overbloated roster to begin with. But we'll see. Motor City Machine Guns, I mentioned, I would say they hope to go TNA, but I could see them in AEW.
Who else was released? Apollo Crews.
No more Cupcake Crews. Titus O'Neil is scrambling for a new cupcake chef in Titus Catering. He may now give that to Matt Cardona or Kit Wilson, because I heard Kit Wilson makes very delicious, scrumptious crumpets. I heard. Maybe it's a crumpet cupcake.
Yeah, they're not
tough. Can now make for Titus O'Neil, but with strawberries on top. Apollo Crews, I'm surprised he lasted this long.
Honestly.
Now, Apollo Crews.
For real, like for years. This guy, Apollo Crews, was called up to the main roster in 2016.
Well, 2015.
But he didn't even last that long in NXT.
Well, late 2015, he was signed to WWE. He started NXT Black and Gold late 2015. Not even a year at all. The Raw after WrestleMania in 2016, he was called up to the main roster on Raw. I have to be honest with you. This guy was called up way too quick. He never grew. He never matured. He was called up way too fast, dude. Way too fucking fast. He needed at least another year in NXT, then called up. Like, this guy was a very good wrestler, don't get me wrong, but he had the charisma of a fucking pencil. Dude, like, literally, like, we're something. This flash drive, now maybe too generous, this USB flash drive has way more charisma than Apollo Crews. Like literally, a roll of paper towel, like a paper towel roll has more charisma than Apollo Crews. Let's be real. A tennis ball has more charisma than Apollo Crews.
A basketball has more charisma than Apollo Crews.
Good wrestler, but the guy could not talk for shit. No charisma, no personality, no character, nothing. Now, don't get me wrong, he had a decent career in WWE on the main roster. He was on Raw to WrestleMania in 2016. He was on SmackDown. He was on Raw. He was fighting Dolph Ziggler, Kalisto, Baron Corbin. He had a little tag team with Titus O'Neil on Raw in early 2018. Was all right. And then Apollo Crews, though, and then he was and then another thing, Raw in 2020. Paul Heyman, when he remember when he was Raw executive director and he wanted to give Apollo Crews an opportunity, and he gave Apollo Crews the United States title. And before Heyman was removed by Vince as Raw executive director, he didn't do a bad job, did Heyman, with Crews, and he saw something in Crews. Like, he wanted to give him an opportunity. And then Heyman got pulled. Crews went down, took the title off him, gave it to Lashley, the U.S. title. Crews then goes to SmackDown in the 2020, in the October 2020 draft. And then, and this was recent memory, Apollo Crews in early 2021 on SmackDown, he goes heel, attacking Big E. So much so, dropped the steps on Big E, hurting his leg. The next week, Apollo Crews comes in this Nigerian scarf saying he's from Nigeria, and he said something about he showed Big E the steel because he's Nigerian. Because I think in the Indies he was what, Uwa Nation, which is Nigerian.
Yeah, I believe.
So he was saying, and I remember the heel promo he cut explaining his actions attacking Big E, saying, you know, I'm not from the hood, I'm not from suburbia, I'm from Nigeria, I'm a real African American, and these colors on these scarves, on the scarf, the green and white striped scarf, saying that to Big E, I showed Big E the steel. That was, I remember that promo. That was a very good promo from Apollo Crews when he turned heel. Even weeks before that, that Talking Smack episode, remember that Paul Heyman was on with Apollo Crews, and Heyman was ripping Crews a new asshole, saying you're too nice, you got to stop smiling, you got to be more aggressive and mean, you know, you're not here to make friends, you're here to make money, and was trying to knock some sense into Crews because Heyman sees something in Crews, and that was a shoot, by the way. Remember that? That was great. Where Heyman said to Crews, you know, you and Big E are friends, right? You know, why don't you let Big E come to your house, knock your door down, take the food off your table? Then Heyman was cussing out Crews, like he was cussing him out. Like he was cussing out Apollo real good. And then, yeah.
Showing him tough love.
What?
Showing him tough love.
Yep, showing him tough love. Then Apollo Crews turns heel. And then he feuds with Big E at WrestleMania 37 Night 2. Nigerian drum fight for the IC title. Then that's when we saw Commander Aziz. Remember him? Dabba-Kato?
Yeah.
And then Crews was Intercontinental Champion as a heel on SmackDown and throughout 2021. Then he loses to Nakamura with Rick Boogs. And then he's drafted to Raw in late 2021 in the draft. And then he goes back to NXT in 2022. Wrestles guys like Braun Breaker and Grayson Waller and guys like them. Then he comes back to Raw in the 2023 draft. 2024 drafted to SmackDown. Then he was teaming with Baron Corbin on SmackDown in late 2024. Then 2025, I think he got hurt or something, or I don't know. He was mostly Cupcake Crews in 2025 SmackDown. Then he was teaming with Matt Cardona, and now he's gone. I'm not surprised by Cruz getting caught. I'm surprised it took this long.
He lasted so long in this company.
He was there for 11 years.
I mean, he had a solid run. He got a WrestleMania moment. Yeah, like he got a WrestleMania moment. His run was solid. It was like, again, like we mentioned with the other releases that we're not surprised. Like what was he doing on television? What was he doing that was so important that we had to keep him?
He was doing nothing.
Like literally, if anything, like I mean, I'm not surprised that he was fine. Like I'm surprised that he survived this long. Like 2024 releases, the 2025 releases, or even the previous releases, before that. Like I'm surprised they lasted this long.
Yeah.
It's like, for example, when they fired, they fired Dakota Kai, they fired Cora Jade, Gigi Dolan.
Well,
they fired
Dakota and Cora was because of injuries.
Yeah, they fired who they fired. They fired Samoa Joe. They fired Bray Wyatt, and yet somehow, some way, this guy still had a job.
Apollo Crews will be fine.
Honestly, if I'm being honest, getting released was probably the best thing that happened to him. Like, what was he doing on WWE television?
He's a guy I would love to see in TNA reinvent himself. If he wants to continue wrestling and wants to reinvent himself, go to the Indies, go to TNA. He could truly he has a chance to really be something in like TNA. If he goes to AEW, he's just going to be another guy on the roster. He'll go fucking nowheres there. I'd say TNA is his best bet.
Honestly, if anything, this release is probably what he needed to get his career back on track.
Yeah, it sucks to see him let go, and I hate seeing him fired, but this may be a blessing for him. Yeah. Look at Drew McIntyre again, June 2014. Drew McIntyre was in 3MB, a jobber, and he deserved so much better. And it was unfortunate to see him let go in June 2014, but that was the best thing for him getting released. That was the best thing that ever happened to him. And look what he did. And now he's back. Who's to say Apollo Crews maybe doesn't follow the McIntyre route if he wants to continue wrestling? And I think Apollo Crews, his age, I'm trying to look. I mean, he's not getting any younger, but I think Apollo Crews, he's 38 years old. He's still in his prime. So I would say TNA is his best bet, but he'll be fine. Apollo Crews will find work easy. Or maybe,
especially
if he does go to AEW, what if they pair him with Swerve?
You never know. That would be a good idea. Or they pair him up with Lashley and Shelton.
Yes, the Hurt Syndicate. Yes, that would be great too. Because you got Shelton, you got MVP, you got Lashley. They're not going to get Cedric Alexander. I don't see why not Apollo Crews. I would actually love to see that, dude. I really would. You have Crews and Shelton in the tag team. They could easily go for the tag team titles. Lashley is the main event champion in the group. I think that would be great. Dude.
I wouldn't mind. If anything, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. I would if he goes
if it gets him on TV regularly.
I would say more. I would say he should go to TNA over AEW and not go to AEW unless you put him with the Hurt Syndicate. If you put him with the Hurt Syndicate, this could actually work, and I would not mind him there at all. Because if you bring him to AEW, this guy, he's gonna go nowheres.
Yeah, or if Swerve starts a faction, maybe one of the guys he recruits is Apollo Crews.
Yes, absolutely. We'll see. But Apollo Crews, wherever he goes, wherever he lands, he'll be just fine. He'll find work easy. I'm very sure. Same thing with this one, Alba Fire. Now, the Alba Fire, she aka Kaylee Ray. Remember Kaylee Ray in NXT UK? She was a long reigning NXT UK Women's Champion, and she was a big heel. She was great. She was awesome, man. Her stuff with Toni Storm and Piper Niven. She was so damn good at what she did. Then she came to NXT in the States in late summer of 2021. She was about to do good, but then 2.0 started. And then they turned her face, which, let's be real, she works better as a heel. And then they changed her name in early 2022 to Alba Fire because Vince had this obsession with, you need to change wrestlers' names. And honestly, I think that's what really did Kaylee Ray in. When they changed her to Alba Fire, that's when it went down from there, in my opinion. I mean, had a nice character with the Alba Fire thing, but with the baseball bat, but then it's like you put her in a tag team with Isla Dawn, the Unholy Union, as good as that was, as much as that was fine. Then they had decent success as a tag team, the Unholy Union, but it's women's tag team champion to the summer of 2024. As decent as that was, but did Alba Fire really do anything? Really, she didn't. I'm surprised. I'm shocked she didn't get cut.
She was mostly used as a tag team wrestler. Honestly, she was mostly used as a tag team wrestler. I mean, I like the team with her and Isla. It's like you could have still done so much more with her as a singles act.
But that's not who she is. She is Kaylee Ray from NXT UK. Even before she came to NXT UK, on the UK Indie, she was a damn good heel, fucking killing it. Like Kaylee Ray, when she was in NXT UK, you know what she reminded me of? How damn good of a heel she was? She reminded me so much. I saw a lot of Drew McIntyre. Remember when Drew McIntyre was younger? He was clean shaven. He was the chosen one on SmackDown in late 09. I saw a lot of that in Kaylee Ray, just the cockiness, the arrogance, and backing it up, the aggressiveness. I saw a lot of that in Kaylee Ray. And she could have really been something. Like, you talk about a damn good heel Raw or SmackDown could have needed in the early 2020s. Kaylee Ray could have fit that slot perfectly. But they changed her to Alba Fire and it went nowhere. Then you had this Secret Harvest. Remember them?
That was pretty much the end of her run.
That was the kiss of death for her. I gave it a chance, but it was
she was the resident loser of the Secret Harvest.
Yep.
I can't even do the joke.
You talk about
the ring name.
I don't know if I call. No, I don't know if I could compare it to like 3MB, but
they spent most of it as a team though, because Piper Niven went down with an injury, like very quickly into the group's run.
I'm surprised she wasn't even cut to Piper Niven.
Well, she's injured as well. I think that's the other factor to it. Like, she was injured. She's been out since August, and her career may be over. Yeah. And I hope not, but it looks like it.
Yeah, but Alba Fire, man, I'm not surprised she got cut. I mean, am I happy about it? No, I don't like seeing anybody lose their jobs. But Alba Fire, Kaylee Ray, she's Kaylee Ray again now. It looks like she's going to be Kaylee Ray on the Indies. She'll be fine, and she'll fucking kill it on the Indies. And she's still very much young in her 30s, so it's plenty of time left. Over time, I could see her come back. I could. She even teased a match on the Indies with Dakota Kai. Sign me up. Sign me up, man. And Kaylee Ray is not a tag team wrestler. She's a singles wrestler. And she's going to continue wrestling. I could absolutely see her kill it on the Indies and make WWE regret letting her go. I could see it. After some years away, I could absolutely see that. Like, because she's a one. Kaylee Ray is one of those people, like, there's a saying, a great heel makes for a great baby face. Look at what Kaylee Ray did in her time on the Indies before her first WWE run, and even during her time in NXT UK. Look at her feud with Toni Storm in NXT UK when Toni Storm was UK Women's Champion NXT. I think they brought up like Kaylee Ray, like their personal history and friendship history, and Kaylee Ray bringing up Toni Storm's daddy issues, and then that NXT UK episode before their match in TakeOver Cardiff, where Toni Storm just slapped the taste out of Kaylee Ray's mouth when after Kaylee Ray brought up Toni Storm's abusive father and brought up, we're not friends anymore and your father didn't want you. And then Toni Storm just slapped her right in the face. kind of mind-fucking Tony Storm, and then beat Tony Storm for the NXT UK Women's title at NXT UK TakeOver in Cardiff. Remember that? After Kaylee Ray won the title, she was beating everyone in her path. She was feuding with Piper Niven, good feuding matches with Piper Niven. Even wrestled Miko Satomura, I think, in NXT UK. Those are some really good matches. I would love to see that Kaylee Ray back on the indies. And hopefully later on down the line, WWE picks up the phone again and wants to bring her back, and she's better off for it. And she's still very young. It's not like she's older. And 30 is not old, by the way. Oh, but WWE, another reason for the cuts is they want to go more youth. Yeah, how old is Mike Santana? Mid-30s? I don't believe that rumor at all. Oh, the reason for the cuts last week, according to the Observer and Cultaholic, WWE wants to go more youth. Yeah, Mike Santana, his age, he's 35 years old. More likely than not, he's coming into WWE this summer. Yeah, WWE, the reason for the releases last week, they want to go more youth, right? I mean, yes, but not all just only youth. So I don't believe that at all. I don't. Kaylee Ray will be fine. And I could see her back later on down the line. What are your thoughts on this whole thing with Kaylee
Ray? Honestly, it's the same thing with Apollo Crews. Honestly, this release is a blessing in disguise.
Yes. And you know how I mentioned Drew McIntyre 3MB, Kaylee Ray Secret Hervis? Maybe it's a comparison there. And Kaylee Ray and Drew McIntyre are Scottish. Maybe Kaylee Ray, who's to say she doesn't take the Drew McIntyre Cody Rhodes route and reinvent herself and later on come back and be better off for it? Who's to say?
Yeah.
You know, this, like you said, and I agree, it sucks seeing Kaylee Ray release, but it's the best thing for her. What was she doing in the Secret Hervis? She was a loser. She was pretty much the punching bag in the Secret Hervis every single week on SmackDown. She lost to Tiffany Stratton. She lost to Rhea Ripley. She lost to almost everyone on SmackDown.
She was a loser.
Yeah. She'll be fine. She'll be fine, though. She will be fine. Alba Fire, Kaylee Ray will be just fine. She'll find work easy. Zoe Stark. She got injured last year. She was about to come back, and she's released. Now, this is the thing I hate, and this is fucked up. You release someone that's injured. That I don't agree with whatsoever. And it's shitty. It's really shitty to release someone that's injured and you let them go. At least bring them back to TV and have them on TV for a while, see if they work out, and if they don't, then let them go. If they do work out, then keep them. At least do that. But to release someone that's injured and cut them, that's shitty. That is really shitty, and I fucking hate that, dude. Like, that is really shitty if you ask me. I can't defend that at all.
And this is the other thing that is so mind-boggling. You know what makes it even more mind-boggling? They just re-signed that guy just 6 months ago. Like Escobar was...
Oh, yeah, Santos Escobar's another guy.
He was about to hit the agent.
He was on AAA. Nice haircut. And then he gets hurt. Then you release him? Like, what? And the guy hit last year. And it may have been to keep him away from AEW, but I mean... He's injured and released? It's shitty. It really is shitty to release somebody on the roster that is currently on the injured list. There's no defending that. I'm sorry. Any comment on that Santos Escobar dude?
Yeah, he re-signed 6 months ago. They wanted to keep him, and they offered him these new ideas, these new plans, because he wanted, Santos Escobar. He wanted to be assured that there was a plan for him. You sent him to AAA. He's in the AAA title scene. He's feuding with Dr. Wagner Jr. And yes, the injuries, obviously that was bad timing for him to get hurt. But why did you fire him? Like, why if you're gonna fire him like that, why did you want to resign him in the first place? Like, it doesn't make sense. And the fireball, he's hurt. It's just tasteless.
Very tasteless. But then again, this is WWE with TKO. Santos Escobar will be fine. I could see him in CMLL. I don't know about AAA, but CMLL, it looks like it. AEW, probably. CMLL or New Japan. I think CMLL. He'll be fine, though. He'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think CMLL is his likely destination.
Yeah. I was going to say TNA, but I think CMLL more likely. But either way, he'll be fine. Zoe Stark, back to that. She was another one that dealt with injuries. She was injured in what? NXT? Then injured on the main roster, I think. I mean, injuries didn't help, but I mean, you could have brought her back, see if she worked out. And I'll never forget that Money in the Bank qualifier last year. She did a mistiming springboard dropkick, and that's how she got hurt real bad. Injured her ankle really bad. Her knee, which looked terrible.
Yeah. When she did that springboard dropkick and Kyrie,
it was against Kyrie Sane and Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, Kyrie wasn't in position. Like either Kyrie missed her cue or Zoe jumped too fast. But like whatever happened, it did not look good. It was awful.
And you see Zoe start screaming in pain, slapping the mat. It did not look good at all. This is terrible. Zoe Stark, though, I will say will be fine. She'll be fine. I would probably say, what, AEW? I
say she goes to the Indies.
Yeah, the Indies. I think Indies better off.
I think that's what she lands.
Indies or TNA, Indies or something like that. Who knows? Maybe we see her in ACW. Maybe she's in House of Glory. Dakota Kai is doing well there. So is Indy Hartwell as well. I'd love to see Zoe Stark on House of Glory too. Ricky then says, I stepped up for a little bit, but did you speak about Zoe Stark? Well, perfect timing. Yeah, just speaking about her right now. But Zoe Stark, she'll be okay. She'll be fine. I mean, she's still recuperating, but when she's cleared to go, expect her to start killing it on the Indies. I'm very, very sure. And she'll be fine. I'm sure she'll find work. I mean, she's a former women's tag team champion. She's wrestled with Io Sky, wrestled the top names in WWE. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. Other names on the list. Mentioned Santos Escobar. And it's like you couldn't, and the SmackDown was 3 hours. You mean to tell me you didn't have time for him on SmackDown, but we have fucking Kit Wilson.
Well, we had time for Pat McAfee being involved in the WrestleMania main event.
Oh my God. Speaking of which, Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. Might as well talk about this here. Zelina Vega and Aleister Black cut from WWE. 1 year after Aleister Black returned, he's gone. And what was it, a 3-year deal? 1 year after being back, cut. What? This is one of the releases. Him and Aleister Black with Zelina Vega and Kairi Sane, head-scratching releases. Why would you do this? And you know Aleister Black, apparently, if not for the Pat McAfee stuff, Aleister Black was going to technically main event WrestleMania, help Randy Orton win the WWE title at WrestleMania off of Cody Rhodes. But no, Ari Emanuel thinks, no, fuck Aleister Black, Zelina Vega. We need Pat McAfee because he's the next Sylvester Stallone. And we need celebrity involvement with WrestleMania. And how well did that work out? Huh? So you fuck over Aleister Black. And is Ari going to blame himself? Nope. Pretty much used Aleister Black as a scapegoat and told Triple H and Nick on, you need to fire these amount of people, given a quota. You need to fire these amount of people and need to meet the number by the end of April with cuts. And Triple H was apparently the one that made the calls. I mean, you can blame TKO all they want. They may have something to do with it, but it's not mostly them. I mean, Triple H was the one that made the calls. I mean, this is on him, honestly. I mean, say what you want about him the past year or so, playing it safe. And though I wouldn't, it's like he was the one that made the calls, but then again, he's told by TKO, you need to fire this amount of people. Oh, but you can't fire Kit Wilson. Maybe Bruce Pritchard was involved, how to say. So Aleister Black got fucked by fucking Pat McAfee because Ari wanted celebrity involvement at WrestleMania. Then Ari tells Triple H, okay, you need to fire these amount of people. Meet by the end of the month. And Triple H chose Aleister Black. That I don't agree with. I understand you have bosses to answer to, but you couldn't have fired Kit Wilson, who brings nothing to the product. Now you fuck over Aleister, and now Aleister Black is gone. Talk about being
you keep guys like they kept guys like Tozawa on the roster, even though they don't offer nothing to the show. If anything, a release would actually be beneficial to guys like Tozawa, because what are they doing on television?
Nothing. Aleister Black I
was
really
actually
think
doing
still has unfinished business in WWE. He'll be fine. I really hope later on down the line. I know he's not getting any younger, but later on down the line, I could probably see him come back to WWE later down the line, because he has still unfinished business there. And he was on TV regularly. He beat Randy Orton clean on SmackDown, beating Sami Zayn clean on SmackDown. They were building him up, and now he's gone. Like, what? The guy he should still be there. He should have never been released from the start. Him and his wife, Zelina. And they were actually doing pretty well on TV. They were on TV consistently. Then they're gone. Like, I know you have bosses to answer to, but I don't agree with this release at all. I don't.
And this is the thing, it fucks up creative plans on television.
Yeah.
He was beating Sami Zayn, he was beating Matt Cardona, he was beating Randy Orton. The guy was gonna get involved in the main event of WrestleMania, and now he's gone.
This is one of those releases that is very, very head-scratching. It really is. Aleister Black and Zelina Vega will be fine, though, I will say. I read something Sean Dean from AEW wants nothing to do with Malachi or Aleister. So it looks like Jim Ross said the AEW bridge is not burned. Do you see him in AEW? Because and look at what AEW did to him. I would trust more so WWE than AEW. I mean, I don't trust both companies, but if I were to choose one over the other to trust, I mean, both companies I don't trust, and with TKO involving with WWE, but because it's like, I know Triple H's boss is the answer to, but it's like you couldn't have released Kit Wilson, kept Aleister Black, but it's like both companies I don't trust, AEW and WWE. But if I had to choose one, even though I don't trust both, I would probably choose WWE over AEW. Like, look at what AEW did in this instance with Aleister Black. What like remember what AEW did to Aleister Black? Why would Aleister go back there to AEW? He'll do nothing there. In fact, probably worse off in AEW. I would say Aleister Black's best bet, and I would say a good some chunk of these releases, I could see some good chunk of them come back to WWE later on down the line. If that is the goal of theirs, they may not think it now, but in a while, probably afterwards, if that's their goal, I think some places like TNA, AAA on the indies is their best bet. Like a freelancer, like Matt Cardona. You know what I'm saying? Like, Aleister Black and AEW, I don't think would be a good idea at all. I wouldn't. I honestly. And if you ask me, Aleister and Zelina should still very much be there. They got screwed, and they should still be in the WWE company right now. They got fucked because Ari Emanuel wanted Pat McAfee at WrestleMania. Never involve celebrities in WrestleMania ever again. I don't care. I don't care if Ari's friends with these celebrities. I don't care if he has good friendship with them. I don't care about that. I could care less about that. Celebrities should be nowhere near big time matches on WrestleMania. Nowhere near that. And had Ari Madel not stepped in with the WWE title match at WrestleMania, Aleister Black, I'm sure, would still be there. If Ari not stepped in and called Pat McAfee, Black would still have a job with WWE right now, along with his wife. This shit fucking pisses me off. It really does.
It's just so ridiculous. It's like, this is what happens when you have these fucking corporate suits and ties who know nothing about this business, and they come in and they think that they know better than the people who actually, they have been in the business for decades.
Oh, well, Triple H sucks at his job. Say what you want about Triple H the past year or so, playing it safe. Say what you want about that. Does he get all the blame? No. Does he get some of the blame? Yes. But all of it? No. It sucks that he has bosses to answer to. I know. But, I mean, could Triple H have said no to TKO? Let's not let go of Aleister Black. Does Triple H really have, could Triple H really tell these people no?
No. Look, what can he do? Like, these are people above him.
Yeah, there are idiots out there that want Vince McMahon back. Yeah, Vince sold the company to Ari Emanuel, his friend for 25 years. Yet you want Vince back. Are you sure about that? And be careful what you wish for on that.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah. Aleister and Zelina will be fine. And how old is Aleister Black? Let me see. How old is Aleister Black? Let me see. Aleister Black age. Let me look it up. Aleister Black age. He's 40 years old as Aleister Black. But then again, 40 is not old. Yet CM Punk returned to WWE 3 years ago at mid-40s. You know, if CM Punk could return, if a guy like CM Punk could return to WWE in his mid-40s or something like that, so can Aleister Black. I'm very sure. I'm very sure about that. But Aleister and Zelina still unfinished business in WWE. Honestly, they should still be there, and they got screwed. I could see them go in the indies, reinvent themselves. And honestly, if you ask me, I think they reinvent themselves in the indies, and I could see, in my opinion, they are some of the people I could probably see come back to WWE later on down the line, because they have a lot of unfinished business, and they got fucked over. They legit got fucked over. They'll be fine. Both Aleister and Zelina will be just fine. But I would say the indies or TNA is the way to go. Is the way to go about it with them. Your thoughts on this, dude?
Yeah. It's shitty what happened to him. Like he should like all they had to do, like all Ari had to do, and should be doing, is allowing Triple H to do what he needs to do, and what the creative need to do to make these shows good. Yeah. If Aleister was involved, he was the guy who was the mystery caller for Orton, he would still be employed. That pretty much would have saved his job.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid. Just in one of those releases where it's mind blowing. I mean, at the end of the day, it's business. Like, I get it, it's business ultimately, but there comes a point where it's not business and it's just greed. It's just blatant stupidity. Like, why would you sign a guy? Aleister came back last year from AEW, and now 12 months later, he's out of a job again. Like, at that point, why did you bring him back? Like, what was the point? Like, do they not think before they decide on who gets brought in, who gets or gets let go? And then when it comes, is he gonna go back to AEW and all that? Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. Do I think he will? Do I would AEW be where I want him to go? No. Would I be surprised if he goes back? No. Like Andrade came back to AEW, okay? How many? Like he left 3 years ago, right? And he came back to WWE, but then he got fired because multiple wellness policy violations. Then he appeared on that Dynamite episode where he attacked Omega, only for AEW to get a cease and desist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now pretty much he's back in AEW again. Like, this guy goes so much trouble. But that, from the firing, from the drug, failing the drugs test, and then appearing on AEW when he has a 90-day non-compete. But now he's back on AEW television. He's doing well for himself. Honestly, I could see Tony bringing back Alistair. Like, if it means patching things up with him, like, I could see him bringing it back. Do I think he will go back? No. I think his best bet would be going to the Indies.
Just look what Tony and AEW did to him while he was there in AEW. Like, it's like trying to bring like sad, depressed or whatnot towards the end of his AEW run. Why would Alistair go back there?
Honestly, like, where else is he gonna go then? Like, he was fired twice now from WWE. Is Tony gonna be interested in bringing him back? Honestly, I think there's a chance he goes back to AEW. Honestly, if more than anything for Tony, for Tony to stick it to Triple H, or thinking he's sticking it to Triple H, bringing Alistair back and giving him a better push. Which I just don't. Do I think he'll be brought back? No. I think his best option would be to go to the Indies and go to TNA.
Yeah. And Tony has an overbloated roster to begin with as well. So, yeah. And then the other release, and then Kairi Sane released. This, like Aleister Black, head scratching. This is also head scratching. Kairi Sane released. Why? She was in the middle of the Io Sky Asuka story. She was the centerpiece of the story. And Asuka and Io Sky should have been on the WrestleMania card. You leave and you have them off the fucking card. And you have it at Backlash. Now Kairi Sane's gone. Now you waste our time for months with the story with Io, Asuka, Kairi, with Rhea involved. Late 2025 last year, you waste all of our time with that. When that was one of the good storylines on Raw and on WWE TV, and now she's fucking gone. Why? And now Io Sky and Asuka at Backlash, it needs Kairi Sane. And apparently hashtag We Want Kairi Sane has been trending for a week now. Oh, well, they're not going to bring her back. They don't listen. Nick Khan said they don't listen to the vocal minority on social media. They don't listen to the fans. They don't listen to the online social media vocal minority. Sure thing. Sure thing there. Just like Aleister Black should still be there with Zelina Vega. They should have never been let go. They should still be in WWE right now. Kairi Sane should also still be in WWE right now. Why let her go? Why? Instead of Kit Wilson and the fucking Miz on night 2, you mean to tell me, Paul, that you couldn't put Io Sky and Asuka on the WrestleMania 42 night 2 card? And now Kairi Sane's released, Asuka and Io Sky, now there's nothing to it. Kairi Sane was the centerpiece of the story, with Asuka yelling, Kairi! And Kairi about to go face, leaving Asuka and being on her own. And Io Sky telling Kairi, Asuka doesn't care about you. Kairi Sane was the centerpiece of that story. Now it's just a match at Backlash on May 9th with Asuka versus Io Sky. Why release Kairi Sane? Dumb fucking move if you ask me to let her go. This is just like when R-Truth was let go last year. Then the backlash got so fucking loud that Nick Khan called R-Truth, and now he's back as R-Truth from last June. And apparently hashtag We Want Kyrie is trending a week now on X. I hope that shit continues and gets even bigger, because I want WWE to realize that they fucked up, that they made a big fucking mistake. They should have never let Kyrie Sane go. She should still be there right now. And yet you let her go when she was in the middle of a story consistently on TV. And this is the other thing with the releases. Some of these releases were on TV featured recently, and then you let them go? You let Kyrie Sane go? In the middle of the story, mind you, with no payoff at WrestleMania. Why? Why?
It's just mind-boggling. It's just mind-boggling. You wasted you built this storyline for 8 fucking months. 8 months. Where she's the main character of this angle. She's the main star. Where the payoff should be her turning on Asuka, standing up to her, beating her in a match. You drag this thing out for months and months, and now there's never going to be a true payoff to it. You didn't book. This is the thing. You didn't book Asuka versus Kyrie. You didn't book Io versus Asuka. You didn't book a triple threat match between them. You did the same segment every week, and yet you're now booking Io versus Asuka when the one person that was the whole reason for them fighting isn't even there. Like make that make sense. Like literally.
And now hashtag We Want Kyrie's trending for a week now. I hope to God that gets fucking loud. And I hope that gets even bigger. And you know, this past Monday on Raw, Io Sky versus Becky Lynch for the women's IC title. Asuka came out and cost Io Sky the women's IC title. And after post-match, Asuka attacked Io Sky later out. Loud We Want Kyrie chants apparently on Raw. Loud We Want Kyrie chants. That shit's not going away. And if you think you're going to silence that, you got another thing coming. She should have never been let go.
Then what? They're chanting, "We want Kyrie" on Raw. There were fans in the arena chanting it, and you can clearly see that they lowered the volume.
Dude, even the lower volume, you could still hear some of it. I hope this gets louder and louder to the point where they got no fucking choice. Oh, well, they're not going to bring her back. They don't listen to the fans. Nick Khan thinks the IWC's the local minority. They're not going to listen. They don't pay attention to social media. Oh, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Even Jackie Redmond, after Kyrie got released soon after, hashtag We Want Kyrie on her tweet on X. Unbelievable. And then another story, Dave Meltzer said Kyrie Sane is back in Japan. Apparently Kyrie Sane shut that rumor down. It made Dave Meltzer look stupid. But then again, this is Dave Meltzer. Like, this is what Kyrie Sane said, something like this. 2 days ago, she tweets out. Kyrie Sane says, tweets, "What I can say is I know there's been a lot of speculation, but I truly love this work, my teammates and my fans. I've never walked away, and I've given my all in everything I do. I hope you're all doing well." So pretty much buried Meltzer on that one. Kyrie will be fine, But I really hope this gets louder and louder to the point where they have no fucking choice. And because this is not going away. I'm telling you right now, this is not going away. It's been trending for a week. It's not going away. Any other comments on this, dude? Wait, did someone hack Adam Carl? I mean, I don't know if TKO really hacked Adam Carl again.
Probably.
Kyrie will be fine though, but I hope this doesn't go away. This we want Kyrie thing. What are your thoughts on this whole thing?
Yeah, just mind-boggling. It's just so stupid. Like, why would you release somebody that was on television every week in a prominent role on the show? And this has not just been happening with TKO, it happened with Vince McMahon too.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it did too. And Kairi Sane, correct me if I'm wrong, the Raw after Mania, didn't Kairi Sane didn't she wrestle Io Sky? Or she beat Io the Raw before Mania? So why even let her go? This release of Kairi Sane does not make any sense, period. It doesn't. And apparently, but I will say this, these releases, a lot of these releases will be fine. And like we said minutes and minutes ago, just because you get released, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end. It's not over. Use this as a fire and motivation to make WWE regret what they did and go to the indies and reinvent yourself and kill it on the indies, which they will. And after a certain amount of time away, who's to say some chunk of these people don't come back? Who's to say? You know,
You never know.
they'll be fine. Like, look at Cody Rhodes, look at Drew McIntyre. They left, went to the indies, made themselves, and they're back now, and they're better off for it. Who's to say some chunk of these people don't do the same thing? Who's to say? At the end of the day, at the end of the day, these people that got released last week, they will be fine. They'll be just fine, is what I will say. But concluding topic on this episode here, Triple H apparently signed a new multi-year deal with WWE. Apparently, like, some thought he'd be out. He was a scapegoat and be out, but it looks like he's sticking around. But I don't know. I also feel at the same time they're trying to use Triple H as a scapegoat, is TKO. I really do. Then again, this is what happens when you have a senile fucking Vince McMahon selling to his friend instead of leaving the company in the hands of his family. And Vince selling to Endeavor as a huge, huge middle finger to his daughter and son-in-law. But Triple H apparently signed a new multi-year deal. He's staying with WWE. I don't know what he did to deserve this, but this past year or so, he's played it safe. But what is your thoughts on this whole thing real quick before we wrap up?
I mean, he's the CEO of the company, chief content officer. Like why would they let him go? Is it really news that he actually resigned?
It would be a bad look if they let him go. But I mean, even if they use him as a scapegoat, and even if they do cut him, and if they bring in Brian Gerwicks, even if that, he'll be another scapegoat if that's the case. I guarantee it. But I mean, I don't know. I think letting go of Triple H will be a bad look, but at the same time, does TKO care? They don't. They think of money, and that's it. Yeah, people want Vince back. And go ahead.
Like, what's the difference if somebody's running the shows? They ultimately have to answer to corporate suits and ties.
Yeah. Like, this is why the WWE did not need to be under Endeavor whatsoever. Look at Triple H and Stephanie in WWE late 2022 when it was just them, no Vince, and TKO and Endeavor had absolutely nothing to do with it. It was actually good. If WWE was away from TKO and Endeavor, I'm telling you right now, that would be the best thing to ever happen to the company. Because I really feel TKO is ruining this company, limb from limb, day by day. And as long as WWE is under TKO, nothing will change. Honestly. TKO, the sell to Endeavor, was the worst thing that ever happened in WWE. Yet there are fools on social media that say, we need Vince McMahon back. They must have seemed to forgot what Vince did in 2019 and in 2018 on WWE on Monday Night Raw. Maybe some people forgot that. Or remember Vince McMahon's The Egg story in late 2021. The Egg.
God, this is what
remember The Egg? Yet there are morons out there that want Vince McMahon to run creative again. Be careful what you wish for. Just saying. Be careful what you wish for. And last, before we wrap up and all, Ricky says, is that a parrot you got there, Carl?
What?
I don't know what that means, but anyways, but that is that for
looking for a co-host.
Looking for a co-host for my podcast. If you know anyone that is interested.
I won't be around, sadly. I mean, I won't mind doing it once in a while, but I don't want to do it full time.
Yeah, that's okay though. But that is that of a wrap, folks, for episode 23 of Forbidden Podcast here on YouTube via yours truly, FioriousNation, Adam Carl. Adam Carl, any other words before we get out of here?
It's fun doing it. You know, we talked about the topics. We talked about a lot of things. We went in depth about them. And it's fun doing this show. I hope everybody had a good time. And then happy May for everybody. I hope everybody's enjoying the new year.
Yeah.
Let's keep getting stronger and getting better.
Absolutely. And a great way to start off the month of May, almost half into the year. What a way to start off May with this, man. Seriously. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for showing up. You guys fucking rock and kill it every single time. And I appreciate, and I'm Carl, appreciates every single one of you. So we thank you so much for that and the support. Continue to support. Make sure to hit the like on the video. Subscribe to FioriousNation if you haven't done so. Hit the bell for all notifications after you do subscribe to FioriousNation. And make sure you follow me on X at FiorioNix579 and Adam Carl at AdamCarl2005 on X. Proper layout this time, I can assure you. But you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. We will see you next week for episode 24. I may have something going on, for personal reasons wise, next Thursday. So this is looking like May 8th for Friday, May 8th, episode 24 next week. Then after that should be normal on Thursdays after that. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. Not Thursday. Today's Friday and May 1st. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and rest of your Friday, guys. And we'll see you next week for episode 24 for May 8th. Episode 24 of Forbidden Podcast. Next week, May 8th, here on the channel. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace!